Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm here, I'm Tag, and this is
B, lifetime free.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a special guest. Silver Lining is in the house today.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on, but real quick, let's get through the hellos. Gizmo was the first one in. Good evening. Helen, good evening. Starla Doak, good evening. It was nice talking to you this week. The greatest name on the internet.
Half of a plum.
Half bubble of plum.
Is in the house. The world famous Eagle Lover Texas is in the house.
Who is very special.
Very special. And she actually sent me a really good video link today that we can talk about today on the channel, which is pretty cool. Easy, good evening. I think I already said good evening to Gizmo. What do we got? Oh, Dave and Sonia in Michigan are here. Dave and Sonia's got a really cool channel, a really cool off-grid camper. I love the slides on it. Absolutely my favorite. What we got? Try to truck down here. The second greatest name on the internet, the Banquet of Consequences, is in the house. We got Rusty Dog. Good evening to you. Rain Country is also in the house. Hey, you guys are doing what are you guys doing something with Rain Country this week? Well, they don't even know it, right? But what are you guys doing?
We're making elderberry syrup. We found elderberry on the roadside. Well, not on the roadside, but out and about. And so we're making syrup today.
Yeah, and you guys are using Rain Country's
Heidi's recipe. Yes.
Heidi's recipe. Cool. You guys, Rain Country, if you like that kind of thing, you know, elderberry syrup, making all of these potions, she's definitely a member of the Witches of Eastwick.
No.
Yeah.
No, but she's got a lot of great videos.
Yeah, lots of great videos.
Very knowledgeable.
Yep. Hey, Louise, how are you? Long time no see. We had dinner with Louise just the other night. ACM Homestead, how are you, my friend? LJC is in the house. Hey, look at this. So Crunchy Mama, I'm going to put this one up there. So Crunchy Mama Farms, Kelly from Texas is in the house. I also met them up in Michigan, and they teach classes about butchering and things like that down in Texas. So for all you Texas people in here, and you know we have a ton of Texas people, you need to look at Crunchy Mama Farms because that'd be a great place to yoke up. I know you can't see it, but here, hold on. There we go. To yoke up, right? Songs of Joy is in the house. Oh, of course, the Terminator. Big Kid, Indiana Mike, ahoy.
Ahoy.
I seen Indiana today. Skates Girls in the house. Can Squatch, good evening. Good to see you again. Mary Michelle, Dana Randell. I almost said that too fast, right? Let's see. What's Gizmo want to know here? Is anyone here familiar with a product called Guardline 1320 wireless driveway alarm? Well, Gizmo, guess what? You are in luck because I have them all over my property. I'm super familiar with them. What would you like to know? My buddy Spags is in the house. Spags been my friend for a long, long time. Also got a good channel, especially if you want to be offended.
You're easily offended.
Yep. Oh, goodness, look at that. Caleb Martin's in the house.
Hello.
Well, it's either Caleb or Amber, but it's one of them. Good friends of ours. Oh, there you go. MJ from Wisconsin. We were talking about you today.
We were.
Yep, we were. Not all good.
We were
Very
hoping.
good.
Yeah, it was all good. It was more constructive hope than it was anything else. But Dorothy is in the house. Let me see here. What's Spags? You're going to actually hang out here a bit and find an excuse to run away. Probably find an excuse. Yep, One Step Closer is in the house. That's the guy that built the ungovernable calculator. Yep, Spag said he's going to hang out for a bit. I think I got to the bottom, maybe. Okay, cool. I got to the bottom. All right, ladies. You guys want to start? What do you got on your list?
Oh, well, the first thing was elderberries.
So talk about where you got them and just talk about the whole scoop.
So we have a visitor here, and she has been helping me do farm chores. So we found elderberry. We harvested them. She showed me how to fork them.
Yes. To get the berries off the vines or off the umbrels, I guess.
Yes, with a fork.
Yeah.
And then somebody told us to take the whole thing and put it in the freezer.
Freeze it first, and then when you pull it out of the freezer, they'll just pull off.
They
the
just
umbrels,
fall
right?
off, I
Fall off
guess.
the
So
umbrels. We didn't know that.
Yes, no. But we are going to try to harvest as many elderberries as we can, and possibly black cherries from another neighboring farm if there's some there. And then we're going to send them through the squeezo strainer and then make syrup.
You guys gonna do a video on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
we're going to do a video on that.
We've
tag.
already done part of the first step of the video.
So you videoed it.
Yes.
Okay.
I videoed her showing me how to get
Bring
them
it.
off. Yeah. Instead of pulling every single
Mhm.
little berry off. So
Yeah, cool.
I love cheats.
Gizmo says, guessing if you have it everywhere, it would be good to keep an eye on things. More of an ear. But so I have them all over my property and they work really good. They've got great distance. My furthest one away is probably 1,600 feet, 1,700 feet from the receiver. And I've got pictures of it covered in ice. I haven't had any problems with them. The first set of batteries lasted about 18 months. Is that about right?
I was going to say over a year.
It was over a year, about 18 months before I had to replace the batteries in them.
And they were just Duracell batteries.
Mhm.
They were just, and we have different chimes for different
Areas.
Yeah, locations.
Right.
The one over by the bees makes bubble noises.
Yeah, so you can set it to different ringtones. So basically, if someone's at my driveway, it'll get off one ringtone. If
Mhm.
someone's on a different road, it'll give off a different ringtone.
Yeah, bird
When you're
tracks.
halfway down my driveway, it's going to give off a third ringtone.
Yep.
And so I can pretty much tell where somebody is out on my
they're
property.
at.
What's really cool about them is the distance. Because, like a HDMI cable, for example, or a Cat 6 or Cat 5 cable, after about 300 feet, it really begins to lose its ability. And so because these use radio waves, it's not using your internet. And so it's got really, really, really good distance that way. Let me see. Let me get back up here.
Yeah, we haven't had any issues with ours.
Jesus is in the house. Good evening. Chris White, good evening. Let me see here. Gypsy 19, hi from temporarily in Tennessee. Yep, not for long, bud. Beth Emily, good evening to you. Chuck Peoples, how you doing, bud? You and I got to get a video done one of these days. You know that? RN is in the house. 109 degrees in central Alabama. We're going to talk about that tonight. Yep, Potpourri for Life is here. We see here Jane Badden, good evening. Almost to the bottom, went to the bottom. Okay.
Okay, so you want me to continue?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so what else we've been doing? The elderberries, and then we did mullein flowers. We were able to harvest. I don't know how much. Would you say that wasn't a lot?
About a cup.
Okay, so
Maybe
cup
a little over a cup.
of mullein flowers, and then we got yarrow seed and cosmo seed. Is that about it?
Seems like we're more busy than that.
And we pulled a lot of weeds. A lot of weeds.
Tomatoes. Got a few
We
tomatoes.
pulled tomatoes and we ate them.
We did, and they were delicious.
Is that the only thing we ate? We've consumed?
From the garden.
Yeah, we need to get better at that.
It's clearly been a vacation at Life Done Free.
Yes, we've been eating out. We've been hanging out. We've been
Lots of
staying up
lollygagging.
late.
I
That's true. You did go to bed.
I go to
early.
bed. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, so we've been staying up late.
Girl talk.
Hey, Dana Green, good evening to you as well. I think I got everybody. All right, you want me to do one?
Yeah.
Okay, so this week we did the off-grid water and power video.
Oh.
So basically I put a small solar system on the turkey coop. It's not really a turkey coop because it's got all kinds of animals in it. We just call it the turkey coop. Put off-grid power on it. And so basically what it powers is lights and a pump. And then I use that pump to give her off-grid water. So she's got 650 gallons of water stored in there. And really what that does for us is it just brings water to that location. And so now she can hose, clean, all of that stuff. I got her sink installed, which wasn't part of the video. I mean, the sink was in the video, but I didn't have it installed, but it's up and working now. And so just got to add another level of less work, right?
I do not have to carry water any longer.
Yeah, so talk about that. I mean,
It is so much easier. I take the hose over to the ducts. I can do it more frequently. I can do it any time of the day. I don't have to wait for the sun. I don't have to wait for a rain. I can just and because there's so much rainwater already there, I haven't well, it's been raining a lot, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm loving it. The one thing that I would change about it is the guinea water is under the roost. So as they're climbing up the ladder and then go into that
Okay.
roost, they're aiming.
So can I just remove that roost because they don't use it?
Yeah, well, so if you take that roost and put it on the other corner,
easy.
then it would
You,
stop that whole.
you actually have 2 roosts
Okay.
that run over the water, so
Okay.
then you just run to the other wall.
Easy. So 4 screws,
Yeah.
and we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
easy.
And that is the only. Have you had? Because you've
I think
been
it's a
helping
wonderful
me.
system that you put in.
Yeah.
It's really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does, like you said, you just have the water hose and you're not carrying 5-gallon buckets back and forth.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
From one duck motel to the or foul
Right.
motel to the next.
Yeah, I sent her to the chicken coop and I handed her the hose over the fence, so it was.
Mhm.
So the water was able to go down and over the fence and then into the chicken coop, and she washed the chicken waters for me.
So, what else would you guys change? And I like this feedback because this is helpful to me. We're just beginning on infrastructure, and anybody that
Yeah.
homesteads, infrastructure is the key, right?
I'm liking those little cups on the turkeys and the guineas. The baby chickens tend to fill the cups with just debris
Yeah.
because they're at the bottom. They're so low to the ground for the baby chickens that they're scratching, bedding, and
Okay.
other stuff into those little cups, the little waters. So we have to take it out of the
You put it on brick.
pen. Well, the brick only. Oh well, I put a cinder. No, what is that called? A cinder
Cinder
block.
block.
I put a cinder block in there and put the bucket on top of it, but then it raised it like.
Okay, so
This
you need to
tall.
clarify what you're talking about the bucket because that wasn't in any of the videos. You're
Okay,
talking about.
so
So
you-
I've also built her some buckets that have the little water feeders on them.
The same
5-gallon
water
buckets,
feeders,
for
yeah.
some of the other stuff.
So just to be able to move
Right.
around and check, see if I can get the others to use it, because we've tried the push button waterers and they just don't use them. I've tried to teach them to use the push button ones.
But they don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
So the cup with the water in it, they can see it and they tend to just drink it.
Anything else we change?
Just get you a composter, handy, more handy.
Oh my gosh, yes, that has come. I've that makes sense since you have said that. She's helping out with permaculture
Common sense.
Zoning.
stuff. What'd you call it? Common sense? Is that what you called it? Is that what you said? So when you're not a farmer, maybe it's not common sense to put the compost pile next to or around the chicken coop.
For when you're cleaning it out, right? You can build your compost from that.
Yeah, because she's like, "Where's your compost pile?" And I'm like, "Whoa, it's way up the hill." And she's like, "What? Why?"
Well, not quite like that.
Yeah. Yes. And then she goes, "Is this a bag of poop?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "Why?"
Yeah, I did do that. Why are we carrying poop in a bag?
Because I took the newspaper out of the chicken brooder and just shoved it in a bag and put it in the trash can. And she's like, "No, compost." I'm like, "Well, that makes sense." But it's way up there. And she's like, "Because it needs to be down here. You need to pick a place down here."
You want to talk to Banquet of Consequence about geese? What do you think of them? I love the geese. The geese are my favorite of all the birds.
I enjoy them.
You know, they're from my perspective is they're meaner, so they kind of rule the roost. So you got to
They're
prepare.
not really mean though.
Well, they to the other birds. I mean, they are the
They
boss.
push them around.
They push them around.
They like guide them.
Yeah.
Where they want them.
We have African geese, and when they were little itty bitty babies, we made sure that we interacted with them every single day in an effort to keep them more docile. And now they're friendly to us. You know, they are happy to see me every morning when if I let them out, they wave to me with their wings and they hang out with us and walk by our feet. But they do rule the roost,
Yeah.
and I think that's. Did you guys add anything to that?
Yeah. They're hungry. They're always hungry. They're always
I
hungry.
could say so much, but I just think I won't.
Yeah, so they are one is African and the other one is African and Chinese, which both actually are from China. So we have geese from China.
Did you buy them at
Chinese
Walmart?
geese.
Mm-hmm.
Did you buy them at Walmart?
Nope.
Hippocrates says raise the cups. If they have to jump up on a platform, they will stay cleaner. I use a pallet on cinder blocks and put the water cup height appropriate to that. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Rain country. Everyone's telling me to be nice to you, B. Amber says be nice. What is going on?
They know you.
Once that
Oh
poacher
wait,
says,
didn't you say to you? She told you to be nice to me too, didn't you? Wasn't there a conversation about hey, leave her alone?
I don't listen to you guys.
They need a referee, guys. I'm telling you. Full-time referee.
Maybe move a pile of straw or wood chips near the coop and try a deep litter method like Joel Salatin uses.
I've tried deep litter methods and I've gotten myself into a pickle with mites and
Mites,
just with
bugs.
bugs. Yeah, black ones, clear ones, white ones, bloody ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big Kid wants to know if we use rechargeable batteries. We have some in our stores, but I don't use them on a regular basis.
Not on the.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is funny. Oh, Louise says, by the way, it was nice to meet you last night.
It was nice to meet you too. Very nice.
Rain Country says she only asked if B had her skillet handy. That was it. But that, come on, Rain. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rick says geese are a-holes.
Oh, really?
I love our geese.
I've always heard they're very mean, but
Yep. Crunchy Mama Farm says putting the city house up for sale next month. Cool. Funding the build on the farmhouse while renting feels better than getting a loan. Amen. Yep. I actually had a really good time with Crunchy Mama, her and her husband, and we just got to spend a lot of time when I was in Michigan just talking about, living free, starving the beast, homesteading, and how we can contribute to the community and how we can network the community together. And so I would encourage everybody to look up Crunchy Mama Farms.
I love that you're able to connect with people all over like that. I think that that's wonderful. I'm going to write that down though.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody check it out. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, if we don't look out for each other, who's going to? I promise you, the powers that be aren't looking out for you. Help's not coming. Rescue's not around the corner. We got to rely on ourselves, and ourselves are us.
We're it.
We're it. That's it. Tag, and pickles too. I don't know what that means. I don't follow the pickles too thing. Do you guys?
I missed it.
No, her last comment said
If I had my skillet handy and some pickles,
yeah, I would eat the pickles. And B can't punch very
drink
hard,
your
so.
pickle juice. Tag.
Yeah, where'd we hear that at?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What the nanny gov is not going to take care of us? No, unfortunately, Rain,
Oh.
as you know, my fellow freedom warrior, they are not coming to help. Before we get too much farther, to talk about your experience here while you've been here. You've been here a little bit. I mean, because it's a zoo the whole time, right?
Sugarcoat it though, okay,
You know?
please.
It's been really fun to watch them interact. Obviously, you get to see a little bit here, but it goes on all the time, just in case you wonder. They each, what are we going to do in the morning? And that's what they set out to do. And they go 16 different directions, and they might get it done and they might not get it done, but it'll be there tomorrow. And that's homesteading, right?
Yeah.
Being free and doing what needs to be done. Back to that ripple effect.
Yeah.
It's been really fun. B is super about providing for her family and making sure things are taken care of, and everything that has a heartbeat, she has a heartbeat for, and she does a great job of taking care of those things. And and of course, Tag is 90 miles an hour all the time, and they're both super people, and I'm very thankful that you all let me come in visit with you and try to be a part of learning what I need to do for homesteading, but for myself.
So what is it you need to do? What's your journey? right? Because all of our journeys are different. And we're going to experience different things.
Well,
You know,
I'm starting at the beginning. Got to
Yeah.
find some land.
Yeah.
Got to build a house. I need a well. I think I have to start with the driveway. I'm not sure. I have so many things. Need to figure out where I'm gonna go next and what's, one thing at a time, all at once. I guess if you're with Tag, for sure. He's like, let's do it all.
Yeah.
But you got to start here. Okay.
Yeah, Rain Country wants to know if I actually have a heartbeat.
He does.
Yes.
He's a really great guy.
See?
He is, and yes, he's a really great guy.
He is.
Yeah. See, guys, you can put that in your pipe and smoke it. All you guys, be nice to be shit.
No, he still needs to be nice to have.
It's super, super cool. So
Yeah.
you are headed down the road, and you've had a successful career, and that's paid off for you, and now you're just looking for that next step, right?
Next step.
And so you've done some looking at land while you've been out here.
I have. This is actually the second time I've looked for land while I'm out.
Yeah.
Second time I've looked for
Mhm.
land. And there's lots of promising places out there. You just got to be quick and keep hitting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
So we looked at two pieces while we were out here.
We did.
You want to talk about them, about what you liked about each one and didn't like about them, or?
So I looked at 40 acres. We got up early this morning. We went out and looked at 40 acres and walked it. It was really nice. It was, they had field. I guess it looked like they probably had grown hay or, grass for hay on one part of it. And then the other part of it, they run cattle on. And it was nice. Had a good slope, not a crazy slope.
Yeah.
And then went and looked at another 61 acres. Yeah, it's a little hilly for my
A little slopier.
A little hilly?
A little hilly for
So,
my old
Well, wait a
legs.
second. I thought Kansas was flat.
That's what they say. I mean, I've drove through Kansas, and a lot of it's flat, but not here.
Not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this property she's talking about it was big hills. Like it would be for a young set of homesteaders, it would be a great place, but someone my age or older,
Well, the
It'd be
water
too
was
much.
at the bottom too.
Yeah,
so I
it's-
would hate to have to carry that for even a month. That'd get heavy fast.
Yeah. Well, I kind of felt like, and we had talked about it, is that if you were a homesteader, and in my opinion, even if you're young, I mean, you're going to be working either uphill or you're going to be working downhill, no matter where you go on that particular property. I mean, you're not going to have a even walk to get to your chickens or whatever it is that you're, you have to go down and get a cow out of the
creek.
pond or the creek. Yeah.
I don't think you would.
Oh, well, I mean,
I don't know if you would.
things happen. I mean, you just have to think about those things.
Gypsy, who's in the house tonight, talked a lot about their former house in Tennessee. The thing he hated about it was all incline.
Oh, right.
And it was just so much work to get an animal moved, to get anything done.
To
because
till a garden.
It's a constant incline.
Yeah.
Versus some of the flatter areas. So the first spot that she looked at was pretty flat. It sat down kind of down in a valley a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was pretty flat across that piece of property. And the second one was just like a mountain for Kansas.
It was
Yes.
like a
for
mountain.
Kansas, right? But for Kansas, right?
Yes.
Not really a mountain, but hey,
A
Mr.
Kansas mountain.
Hey, Mr. Rain's in the house. Are you in trouble today, Mr. Rain? Because Mrs. Rain seems like she's on a roll.
Nope, she's just keeping it real.
I love the Rain family. Then they, from day one when they first walked into the very first live chat, they just hammered me. I mean, Heidi was just on it, and so
That's why I like her too.
I know, right?
know.
I know. Someday I'm going to get up to visit with them. Someday one of my speaking engagements is going to get me up there, or some festival is going to get me up there. But they're absolutely badass, and you guys, we need to support them in any way that we can. They have some really cool stuff that they sell too, goods that they make and things like that. Let's support, like-minded people.
Yeah.
Because they are really, really, really great people, and so I'm honored that they even come in here. She says, you guys are pretty special. Mr. Rain did not even say hi to me when he came in. He just went right to saying howdy to you all. All right, let's get on to it, right? Hey, the Free Living Gazette, which is our local newsletter. We got our third edition yesterday.
Oh, good.
Have you read it yet?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I don't know if it's probably going to our email address together.
Yes.
See, when you open them, I don't go back through them.
hmm
So I guess I
I-
have to.
I thought you were the manager of all of it.
You need to like flag it or
So I
like
need to manage it.
unopen it.
So I need to manage it.
Can you
Unread it.
unopen it?
You want,
You can
Unread
mark
it?
it as unread.
or you could just manage it.
Referee.
How am I supposed to manage it if I don't know what you did already?
It's you're looking at it every day. You say, here are all the emails that came in
I don't
today.
want to double
And-
do it. No double duty.
There's no double duty for you. I did it once. You do it once.
That's
what's the fucking
doubling it up. I'm not gonna double duty. I don't need busy work.
Where's the list?
Where's the list? Miley. Is Miley here?
Where's Miley? Keep him in track. Keep him in track.
What's on your list tag?
yeah, right. Mrs.
I don't need busy work.
Mr. Rain says Mrs. Rain is meaner than a bag of snakes.
I love it.
Yeah, MJ says, sounds like the land I was looking into. Thanks for the feedback. MJ, that's why, remember earlier we were talking about you. Today there was a house that was purchased not very far from me. And the small bit of detail we got, it could have been you. And so we didn't get a lot of detail, right? In fairness, we're reaching, right? We're grasping
We
at
were
straws.
reaching, but we were
Right.
hoping, hopefully reaching
Yeah.
that it was you.
Yeah, apparently Heidi is also seditious. Let me see here. Gypsy says, tell Silver Lining to get on the well drillers list now. Yeah,
It doesn't matter what state, just
just
put
get
it
on
in
it.
Get on that.
Yeah, out here, it's the wells work weird. Like it's easy to get them from a perspective of ordering them. But getting them to come and do it's a whole nother thing. When I got on the list, I was on the list about 6 months, 2 different companies. And one morning I got a phone call that said, hey, this is such and such with such and such well company. We'll be there in 30 minutes.
Yeah. Are you going to be there?
And you know what's crazy? I had been asking for several months, what's the status? And
Yeah.
all the way up until the time they drilled my well, I wasn't even sure I was on the list.
Yeah.
I asked. I followed up. I did all of those things, but everything was high, until we got there. Let me see. Mr. Rain says, hey, Tag, we need a whining season and just a time to cry together over our mean wives. I know, right?
Do that
I
on
know.
your own time. Come on.
Yeah, see, they want to manage us. They don't want to manage
No,
anything
we
else.
don't.
They don't want any of the detail of anything else. They just want to manage us.
No, we don't. We want you to manage yourselves. We want you
No,
to
you
not-
don't.
We want you to not need us to manage you.
If I was managing myself, the kitchen table would be built.
Or your truck would be cleaned out.
Oh, my truck's horrible. I haven't cleaned it in a month.
Well, it is better now than it was
Yeah.
3 hours ago.
She goes, good gravy. Give me a bag.
I go to the hardware store. There's screws. There's electrical boxes. There's
Gloves. I think we found all of the gloves in Kansas.
You won't have to buy any, that's for sure.
oh, cool. Hey, City Greens is in the house. I finally made him. Welcome, Silver Lining.
Thank you.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right, let's get on some good stuff. Anyway, we're talking about the
Okay.
Free Living Gazette. This is important.
Oh, yes. The
So-
newsletter.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because it's churning into this really cool thing. And we've kind of evolved it each edition, kind of that's come out. But like this one, there's a big article in it from the Fabulous Fishers. So Mr. Fisher sent in an article about a lawsuit that went on in Kansas about selling raw milk and how that lawsuit turned out. What's the legal precedence that was now set? Because this relates to all of us homesteaders.
Yeah.
There's several interviews in each article, just kind of interviewing a local homesteader and what got them into it and how that went. There's some resource stuff in there. They're working on starting a bartering page inside the newsletter. And so this is really turning into a really, really neat thing. So I was happy to get it. So we got that newsletter 3. You guys want, I've been done like 2 or 3 in a row. You can keep going because you probably only have 6, right?
I don't know. You've covered several of my items. So, because,
See,
we
she wants
live
to manage me.
together.
See, she wants to manage me.
Yeah.
You guys see that? You guys catch all that right there?
Hey,
That
so
little-
I was gonna say, like, about the heat, the rain. We've been experiencing, in my opinion, like an excessive amount of rain for this time of the year. Rain.
It's not excessive though.
You don't
We don't
think?
have flooding. It's
No,
more
but
than
it's
we
like
normally get
rain-
though.
Yeah, it's like rain every day.
More frequent. That's a good way to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, more frequent.
Mhm.
Is it like that for anybody else? Or is it just like that for me here?
Yeah. So B wants to know, is anybody else getting more frequent rains? Because it seems like it's hot everywhere, and it's hot here too. But it seems like we're getting
You are
more
too?
rain.
Mhm.
You've had more rain than normal or more
Frequent
frequently?
rains.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Banquet of Consequences says, oh, is that the table, the one with all the items you found on the homestead? It is. And I got the top built, and I got the legs cut, and they're sitting on top of the table. And I got all the pieces to put it together, cut and sitting on top of the table. And they're just sitting there, calling my name, Tag, Tag, Tag.
I haven't heard them once. I've been in there a couple times.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's because you guys been out harvesting elderberry.
And
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Can Squatch says, I saw Grumpy Acres posted it. What did they post? Can Squatch, I'm not sure. You have to, what did they post? One Step Closer says they'll take some rain. Eagle Lover says no rain for 3 months.
Oh man. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, so how's that tomato doing? You got that big giant tomato still?
Goliath.
Gizmo wants to know if the newsletter is open to all, no matter the location. Yeah, I'll get it on if someone wants it. So the only way it comes is via email. Okay, that's the only way you can get it. And so if you're comfortable giving me your email, I'll be happy to put you on, and you can get the newsletter. So it's really pretty cool. I really enjoy it.
Anger management drills.
What's that?
Mr. Ray, I guess Hippocrates said something about anger management drills. I don't know what that's
Where's he at? Up here a little bit?
I don't.
Did I miss it?
I just saw Mr. Rain comment to it.
Oh, right here. Let's see here. Mr. Rain said, great idea. Anger management drills. What therapy? Going to join next week. Yeah. Oh, the newsletter. Okay. Got it. So Grumpy posted it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I really like the newsletter. It's really, really cool. Yeah, Rickster said they've had more rain. Tag and B, so you're hogging the rain. Well, I don't know if we're hogging the rain. You've gotten a bunch of rain too, have you not?
Well, yeah. Isn't it coming your way also?
I mean, we're like 7
Not
miles
that
apart.
Yeah, but we
I know.
have been where it's like raining and then not.
Oh, Tamber Smith says, send us a damn hurricane. Well, it's interesting you asked if you say that. Because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but, July was the hottest record ever recorded. July is the hottest month ever in time. It's in recorded history, which it beat the previous record, which was June the month before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so if you guys ever watch, there's a good channel out there called BP Earthwatch, which is something I watch pretty regularly. I really like the guy. He spends a lot of time on weather. And so they're talking, a lot of the experts, whether it be like Brian Hall or, BP Earthwatch or any of these guys are really talking about we are set up for a superstorm to hit, the South United States, the East Coast this year. And I had it on my list to talk about a little bit about, guys, don't wait for, something to happen to go get your plywood. Don't wait, for something to happen, because if there's a category 5 headed to the East Coast or headed to the Gulf, you ain't gonna be buying anything. You go do it now. We're the temperatures, the water in off the coast of Florida has now averaged over 100 degrees every day, which is also the hottest record. The hottest temperature on record. That is critical to the growth of a hurricane, right? I mean, you got super hot waters. Everything is lining up really, really well for that. In fact, the Mediterranean, you know where that's at? The Mediterranean Sea,
Yes.
south of like Italy and, and all of that, is averaging 84 degrees now, which is also the hottest ever recorded in time.
What was it before? Did it say?
I don't know what the previous record was, but I read today that it was 84. And so anyway, my point is I just want to make sure I told everybody, do not wait. This season is gearing up to be the worst hurricane or potentially the worst hurricane season ever. And, but it's going to affect everybody. If you guys are building a barn in Kansas, go get the lumber. Just go get the lumber.
Right.
Because if a Cat 5, Hurricane Katrina, was to smash into one of those sides, you know what the price of building materials what's going to happen?
Yep, they're going to use it.
It's going to get outrageous. And so go do it and go do it now is my advice to you. I have no idea where I'm at. Okay. Let me see. The superstorm is scheduled for 2024. It's called the election.
Oh, geez.
Hippocrates, we've now begun calling him the instigator a little bit. But I love having him as part of not just this community here on the lives, but our Zooms.
Yeah.
Because he's full of stuff just like this.
Yeah, we're fortunate.
Yeah, Mr. Rain, thank you.
Full of stuff like this.
Let me see. Garden hurricane is not so bad, but one time I harpooned by a blue whale. What?
Harpooned
At
by a
Hippocrates.
At Hippocrates. Okay, they're talking to each other. Okay, and see, the current wind shear is the only thing that has been protecting us. Yes. And there was talking about BP Earthwatch, and I don't really understand the weather all that much, so I don't want to look stupid. But he was talking today about how there's a bunch of sand that's been blown out of Africa over the last handful of weeks, which is really what's kept that wind shear kind of down and kept them hurricanes, but that's all dissipating. And so you got the hottest temperatures ever. The peak of the season is about September, the hurricane season.
Yep.
And so we are heading into the perfect environment for some superstorms to hit that coast. And so we really need to be paying attention to it, to our brothers and sisters on the East Coast and down into the South. Don't wait. Don't be left holding the bag saying, I wish I would have. If you need something like that, if you need those stuff to keep you going, certainly go get it. Yep. Rickster says, I watch Suspicious Observers in Ryan Hall. Yeah, I watch Ryan Hall. Yep. Yep. Did you hear that? Yeah. Yeah. So, and you know what? This one's funny. Louise says to Jeff, did you hear that? And Jeff says, yep. And they're right in the middle of construction. And, Jeff and I were just talking the other day about maybe waiting out the lumber price.
Oh.
Because the futures right now are down. So we have someone in our community who deals in lumber futures. And so I can call him any day of the week and say, what's lumber doing? And I know pretty well that in the next week, 2 or 3, the prices are going to go down, are going to go up. And it looks like they're going to go down. And that will stay true unless,
right.
Hurricane Katrina 2 decides to smack Florida,
Yeah. Please no.
Yep. Drums and Live says, I repaired a push mower and a riding mower that had both been declared not working, fixing for a family and charged them 1 bag of chicken feed. They were happy chickens. We're happy. Life is good. Yeah, life is good. We need to be doing more of that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Terminator says, here in Ontario, Canada, it was 58 degrees last night. It's going to rain again tomorrow. We only had 2 days of sun all week. Yeah, Rickster said 87 degrees on the farm. Hey, Rickster, speaking of the farm, you and I are going to do a video together. You're supposed to send me some pictures of your farm. So we have something to talk about. Snap, snap.
Snap, snap.
Snap, snap, right?
Snap, snap. Chop, chop.
Snap, snap.
Snap, snap,
Snap,
Rickster.
It's chop, chop.
Yeah,
Snap,
B
snap.
says chop, chop, Rickster.
Chop, chop. Ándale.
Yeah, actual temp was 104. What do we got here? Beer and chickens. Now, I like you already.
Beer and chickens.
Hello from Indiana. Yeah, Star Doke, how are you? Who's so sorry I am late. Who is the pretty lady with you and B?
Thank you, Starla. Silver lining here.
This is Silver Lining. She came out to spend a little time with B. They're just making potions and witchcraft stuff, out of elderberries and whatever.
witchcraft.
It's cool. You call it what you
We're
want.
harvesting. It's harvesting.
Yeah, so they've just been harvesting and having fun. And it's actually been nice for me, too, because it allows me to break apart and get some things done I've been meaning to get done that I can't get done when I'm here because the Mongolian slave lord is driving me like a Hebrew slave, and it's just horrible. Right?
I am not. Right?
Yeah.
I haven't
Okay.
seen any of that.
Yeah. Buy more Band-Aids and extra wearable parts for your mail tag. More blades. Yeah, we actually got a whole brand new box of blades in just the other day. So I just got another big old brand new box for the sawmill.
They're in the yard.
Yep, I know. I'll get them.
You want me to do it tomorrow?
No, I'll take
I
care of
will do it.
Yeah.
If you want me to.
I gotta
I know.
put hooks on the wall.
Okay.
I'll take
I
care of
just
it.
said.
Yeah.
Give me a bag.
Is she demanding you make a brick without straw? Don't give her any ideas. That's all I can tell you.
Can you?
Yes,
Can
you can.
Can we make them for the Wallapini?
Not
Yeah.
this year.
No, I gotta harvest potatoes.
That's right.
Hey, Rhonda. Starla says it's nice to put a face with a name. So you guys want to hear something else that was pretty interesting?
Yeah.
So Kamala Harris was in Chicago, and she was asked about gun control. And they were talking about how to whoop gun control, right? How to stop all of this, crazy violence that's been going on.
Give everyone a gun.
And so she had a well thought out, objective, plan to combat gun control. And so she finally announces this big badass plan to the audience, and this was her plan. And I quote, elect more Democrats.
What?
That was her plan. Yep. We're in good hands, folks.
Yes.
There you go.
So much intelligence
Yeah.
up there.
Yep. Rickster says he'll get some pictures. Cool. Rock on. Let me see here. Double trouble. Yeah. Yeah. Starla wants to know if you're going to be at the Midwest Preparedness Project in October.
Yes. I plan on it.
Yep. Tamara said had to feed horses, water chickens, unload V trusses for the high tunnel, and water the plants again.
Another day in paradise.
Yeah,
Haven't
Cackle
seen it,
Harris.
but she
Yes,
is.
Cackle Harris. I just couldn't believe that that's all she had. Like there was nothing more, you know.
I've
And
not heard that.
what's funny is when they pressed her on it, she said, "Go to
Nope.
gov.com or whatever the voting place.
Yeah.
Like go vote." Like that was her whole solution. This plan is to give them more power. So let's think about this. The highest murder rates per capita in the United States of America are in Democrat-run cities. Fact, right? And guys, you guys know this about me. I can't stand the Republicans either. So there's plenty I can bitch about there too. But the highest rates of gun violence is in these Democrat-controlled cities. And her solution, she could seriously sit up there and say the answer is to elect more of that. Just like,
She's a genius.
yeah, yeah. Camel toe hairs. Yeah.
Oh no, you didn't. You said that.
Banquet of consequences.
Okay.
You notice I just flickered it up there and took it away? Yeah. Adobe better than brick. Learned how to do it in Mexico. Yeah, I would love to learn some alternative building skills. I just can't get enough built fast enough to keep my wife happy to get into any alternative building skills. Yep. Starla says, Tag, how can you say that 45 First Amendment rights are not absolute and not law of the land? Tug, how can a judge say, well, a judge can say whatever they want, right? I mean, that's like saying, how come the government doesn't follow the rules? Well, because nobody makes them, right? Because we as a people have allowed it to go on for decade after decade after decade after decade after decade, right? And then what, right? I mean, they only know what we teach them. Harris, really never says anything. Yeah, guys, it was amazing to me to watch that interview with her. She's giggling through it and she's giving one sentence answers, you know, nothing with any meat in it. We can fix all murders in America. Just elect more Democrats. Like that's what you came up with? That's what that Brady nurse has?
Well, I mean, you know, she's got a leader there that she's working off of.
I wonder how right. I wonder how those suicide rates are. I don't know. I wonder if there's probably not gonna do that, huh? Let's get this over here. I'll look and see if I don't know if there's a statistic out there, but
Can you grab that?
no, that's all right. Highest. I'm gonna look it up. Suicide rates per state. Let's see what it says here. Except I spelled suicide wrong. Okay, we got it. Suicide rates by state. Sorry to stop it, but let me see here. Okay, so your highest, let me look here. Age adjusted death rates. That doesn't really tell me. I wonder if I could sort by that. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Texas, California, Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Georgia, New York, Michigan, and Arizona are at the top. Yeah, judges ignore the law when it suits them. Ask anyone who's been to family court. Right. This one's funny. Crunchy Mama says, thank you for watching the Kamala interview so we didn't have to.
Yes.
Yeah. See, First Amendment says, Constitution says it's the supreme law. Well, guys, here's the thing. A law only works if it's followed and obeyed. You can say it's the supreme law all you want, but until it's obeyed, doesn't matter, right? I mean, you can say that, the 10 Commandments is the superior law, right? And you can say that the Constitution was built based upon those. And you can make all of these arguments. So thou shalt not kill, but except they still do, right? I mean, so until they're held, their feet are held to the fire, they're going to continue to do what they want to do. Oh no. Rain Country says Democide claims the most lives. Dude, that needs to be a t-shirt, like seriously. That was hard not to laugh, huh?
Yeah.
Where did B go?
She just disappeared.
She's like a fart in the wind.
Ah.
I'm building an outdoor baking oven from a book by Kiko Denzer, working on my Adobe skills. Yeah, super cool. I'd love to do that. Miss Strange, she does nothing but cackle. She sounds like a hen, and she has a hateful smirk for a smile. Guys, she ain't no different than any of the rest of them. What was done to the Jews and others in Nazi Germany was legal. Makes a great point.
Yeah.
Right. This is why I like hanging out virtually with the instigator. Yep. Oh, hey, Pack Rat's in the house. Good evening. Hi-ish. Iris Image washed out a bit. Good to see everyone nonetheless. Yep. No. Oh, sorry, Amber. There we go. No law will be obeyed if it's not enforced. Exactly. Sorry. I don't know how I get. There we go. When leaders in a country ignore the laws and get away with it, it sets a bad example. It's what led to the fall of empires. Who is going to the Midwest Preparedness Festival in October? Give him a thumbs up. I don't even know if I can give. Yeah, I'd like to see a whole bunch of thumbs up. I'd love to meet a bunch of you people. Where'd you go?
Oh, just downstairs. Had to
Okay.
check on some stuff.
Okay, got it. Okay, what else? What's next on my list? I couldn't believe Kamala Harris said that. That was just like seriously.
Stranger things have happened. I know. I saw that.
Okay, sorry.
The screen is a little whitewashed. Well, its problem is the sun's going down, so I don't know if there's much I can do about that. But
Yeah, we don't have the curtains on this side.
yeah, Hippocrates says you left because you were checking on the dessert in the oven.
Yes, Snickers ice cream.
Freezer, Hippocrates, freezer. It's hot out here.
You guys,
Yes, it's
How-
hot out here. We're not running the oven
how
right
long
now
has it been since I had Bethany homemade baked goods?
since it turned hot outside.
Before it turned hot out.
Since before it turned hot. Yeah.
See, guys, you see?
He doesn't look like he's wasting away, guys. I'm just saying.
That's really not the point.
Oh,
Right.
Love having her
Right?
here.
Okay.
It's not the point. The point is
She's
these are the
on
things
my
that make me
side.
happy. Right? We talked about this today, right?
I know.
We're talking about this, right? It's all a priority issue. That's all it is. We all make time for the things that are most important, right?
Yes, we do.
Right?
And here we are.
And I don't have any desserts, which means what? Say it. Say it's not important.
Dessert is not important. I'm speaking for me. He gets dessert, guys. She may not be baking them, but he's getting them.
He's getting them. That's true. Yeah. She bought you bread pudding.
Did you notice, B? I love you, by the way. But did
She
you
bought
notice
you
that
bread
I
pudding.
asked my question specifically?
Yes, I know.
Okay, I know that I got bread pudding not very
Yes,
long ago.
and it was good.
Okay, so Crunchy Mama Farms. So the Midwest Preparedness Project, which you can find on Facebook, the 21st. This is the 21st one. Will be held October the 2nd through the 8th. Here in Northeast Kansas, and you can email me direct if you want. If any of the mods out there want to put my email address in there, tag and be at lifedonefree.com. I can pass it along too. But it's a great event. It's not like really many of the other ones. It's actually be pretty close to what we did in Michigan. It's very family oriented, very hangout oriented. Classes and stuff
Have
go on.
classes,
It's a lot like
yeah.
that.
But it's
Not like a lot of the normal festivals that go on, where it's just class after class after class after class after class, booth. It's a little different than that, but
Amber Martin, I'm curious about your seed cake. Can you tell me about that?
sure here. I baked a seed cake today, Tag. You can stop by if you're ever feeling deprived. I feel deprived a lot.
I want some seed cake.
Well, what kind of seed cake?
I don't care.
Is it
what
for
kind of seed cake.
birds? Is it for the birds?
Oh.
That's why I was asking.
Oh, this is great. Mr. Rain says, "Look, Mrs. Rain, aka Old Blister, the old callus is wearing a frying pan."
This is my Grumpy Acre shirt. So I got this quite a while ago, and Tag found it hanging in his closet.
Yeah.
So he pulled it out and he put it on my side of the bed. And I said, "Hey, where'd you find that?" And he goes, "It was hanging in my closet."
Mm-hmm.
So I finally get to wear it. She gave it to me quite a while ago.
Yeah, I was gonna wear it one day, but
It's
I
been in
picked
your-
it up and went, I ain't wearing that.
It's been in your closet
Fat guy in a little shirt.
quite a while. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't stretch it all out. I like it.
Yep. Let me see here. Richter says dessert's the most important meal of the day. Tamber says, if I get to come, what kind of sweets you want me to bring? Any of them? All of them.
He will take all of them. Just
Yeah.
one though. You can't make like a whole thing of cinnamon rolls and give him one every day. That won't work. He wants one cinnamon roll one time, and then tomorrow it's something different. Because
Yes.
that was yesterday.
Yes.
Something different
It's just
every
like
day.
squash. I don't hate squash.
Did you see the squash on the back deck?
I did.
There's squash on them. Oh, what a blessing.
Terminator says, I'm almost done with the renovation on the back part of my barn. We'll be moving turkeys into their new pen on Sunday. 2 more big projects left to do on my list. Yeah, congratulations. Progress, right?
Yes.
Amber says, I got the idea because Bilbo feeds it to the dwarves in The Hobbit. It's like a 1700s recipe. It has caraway seeds in it.
Interesting.
I want to try.
Yes, you want to give us a recipe,
You want to
Amber?
try it too? Or a cake?
Yeah, nice reference to Tommy Boy. That's such a good movie. Let me see here. Fried pie assortment. Exactly. I could eat a fried pie pie every single day,
I could,
but I just
too.
don't want cherry every day. But I could do a cherry and then an apple and then a blueberry and then
You
a.
don't like
Coconut.
apple. You don't.
No, I like
pie.
apple fine. It's just not the top.
Oh, and it's my
I'll
top.
eat all of them, but
Yeah.
you know,
Apple's better.
tell me what you like. There will be plenty of people there to take up your slack. I like everything sweet. I like tiramisu. You know what I'm in the mood for is creme brulee. We haven't had that in a while. I like creme brulee. She makes it on the wood stove, and it's awesome.
It was pretty good.
Hey, Mandy Garrett's in the house.
Hey, Mandy, I did get your email, Mandy. He didn't open it, and I got it. I am on it.
Yep, Hippocrates says the only seed cake I've seen was cotton seed cake. We cut it up and put it on trot lines for carp. All right, what next I got on my list? Interesting. Let me see. There you go. I'll just let everybody read that one.
So
Yeah.
true.
I'm outnumbered, but I'm not scared. And we better get used to being outnumbered, right? So this is like
Yeah.
good training,
Yep.
right? I'm training for the apocalypse right here in my own house.
And he's still being a turd.
Yep. You know, I'm caught between the Mongolian slave lord and Al Capone. And it's awesome. Preparing for the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Interesting. So did the Chinese government came out
Tiny.
today and downgraded their economic forecast to 4% growth. This is really important because I don't know if you guys know much about China or you follow it much. They've been claiming 8 and 10% growth for decades.
Oh.
And so the number of the 4% isn't what matters. What matters is they downgraded it, to me. Because the thing about China is nobody really gets to get in there and see they report whatever they want to report.
Right.
Right.
So,
So
why would they report it?
Mm,
Why would they report it low?
yeah. Why do you think they would report it low?
To scare
Yes,
the
yes,
people?
yes.
To scare the people.
Well, I think that the world,
Cream cheese. I'd try that. That sounds delightful.
I think the world is in chaos. And I think they're going to have a hard time hiding it. And I think what they're trying to do is prepare investors because there's billions of dollars, maybe trillions of dollars of American money invested in the Chinese economy. And so for example, let's say the goods that come overseas, which is, on shipping containers, if that stuff really starts dropping off, they're not going to be able to hide that. And so they're just planting a seed saying, hey, expect a little less would be my guess. But I mean, that's 60% down from what they would normally claim, which I found that to be
That's significant.
super, super interesting. Mandy says, whoa, you got a special guest. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Mandy.
Yeah. Sopapilla cheesecake. I'm in. German apple pie. I'm in. What China tells the world is likely different from what they tell their people. 100%. 100%. They had to. International creditors aren't believing the growth numbers anymore. Their exports were way lower last quarter. Okay. They're planting the seed. Yeah, absolutely. I just found it was interesting because, again, they typically hide everything. And for them just to come out, to me, that would be an interesting thing. Apple turnovers.
They
I'm in.
have to.
Hey, Leather Homestead. Hey, bud, I got your email. I will reply to you probably Monday. We'll get everything set up. Oops. Sorry, I kicked you off the screen. We'll get everything set up probably Monday. Something like that. Monday's typically my YouTube day, and I'm sitting in front of my computer versus out trying to keep up with these two with, hey, can you, build me the flux capacitor for the new time
She
machine?
brought you the screws to hang that
I have one of
thing.
those in my car.
Yeah, Lisa comes up to me. Seriously, I wish I had some up here with me. Anyway, she's carrying 2 screws in her hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
No screwdriver.
No screwdriver. Nothing to do anything with them, but 2 screws. And she
This
says,
is here.
hang the saw blades up. I'm like, great. I got 2 of them.
I offered to put them out.
Yeah, but just so you know, she doesn't always take my side because sometimes she's like, B, I'm doing you a favor. It doesn't look like it right now. You gotta trust me. B, did you hear me? And I'm like, I'm not listening.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Maybe China doesn't pay their land taxes here, then we could take their land back. Well, we should take it anyway. If, obviously I can never be elected because they never elect me, but I wouldn't allow the Chinese government to own any land, any business,
Here.
anything here. I would not allow it. I would shut that shit down because of what they do with it and because of the implants and because of, in our transformers and in our routers and in all of these things that are going on. Speaking of this, did you guys see that they had a biolab they busted in California last week? This was a big deal. They had live coronavirus, herpes, hepatitis, a bunch of this stuff. And it was this really nonchalant looking building in the middle of, I think it was Sacramento. Don't quote me on that part, but right in the middle of California. And just by mistake, a door got left open, which that door caused someone to check in on it. They're busted. But it was a Chinese owned government bio lab right in the middle of California just this week. I wouldn't allow it to happen. I would not, absolutely would not allow it to happen. Oh, I must have missed one. Okay, right there. Sorry, I fall behind easy. Did you see they did away with the number rating for the ESG score? I think that's what I heard. I didn't, but I will absolutely research that. Sorry, to steal your pen. Yeah, these are my screws. Yeah. I have not seen that, Amber, but I will absolutely check that out. Yeah, MJ says you two are funny.
Mm-hmm. You're natural.
If your saw blades get damaged and missing teeth, send them down to Arkansas. We're used to that.
Yeah, that is funny.
Yeah, City Green says 0 rain. Okay, I have a recipe for an Old Welsh pepper cake. The pepper is really allspice and other spices. I love that. Yeah, I was going to ask Rick. You guys have been working on a project for a cookbook on freesteading. How's that going? I'd love to hear an update on that.
I'd love that.
Because I'll print it. I'll get it printed once there's enough of them there, and someone organizes it for me. Because I'm not going to go in there and copy paste all that.
Yeah, he was working on it.
Yeah. One step closer says many states have started divesting from firms that use EGS scores. First West Virginia, then Florida, and then other states like Texas. Guys, remember how you heard me say a long time ago the ESG score works both ways? This is what I meant. Right? We get to choose too. Just they can say, hey, you've got to follow these rules, or we're going to penalize you. Well, we can say you got to follow these rules, or we're going to penalize you. That stuff absolutely works both ways.
Right. We'll do business elsewhere.
Yeah. Rickster says time to get back to work on the farm. Good night, all. Good night, bud. Oh, you got another one you want to cover? Because I've done like 7.
Well, you briefly talked about my new countertop because you had talked about the table, and then you had said
Tell them about it. It's awesome. It's there.
I had talked Tag into, so we have a piece of cedar that he had sanded and epoxied to go in the window sill of the kitchen, between the kitchen and the dining room. And there was a piece that had the thinnest piece of wood left, and he was going to take it out. And I talked him into epoxying, like pouring the epoxy to suspend this, to save this little piece of wood. And
it was paper thin.
he actually did. It looks great. I love it.
It does look great.
Mhm.
And I'm excited to see the table when you get that done.
Did you know that table would be done and in your dining room if you leave me alone?
No, because that took so many different coats that you had to like pour and wait to dry, pour and wait
Okay.
to dry, pour and
So
wait to dry.
I have got 20 gallons of epoxy in that table right now.
I cannot wait to see who you get to help lift that. Holy cow, that's going to be heavy.
Oh, you kidding? Babe, it's a 3-inch thick tabletop. It's 4 feet wide, 12 feet long, and has 20 gallons of epoxy in it. You better get your beefcake panties on because
We're going to need help. We're going to need help lifting that.
Rain Country said, I believed for the longest time that allspice was simply a blend of spices commonly used in pumpkin pie. I was an adult when I learned that it was a single spice by that name.
Yep.
Does Lisa have a list? Gonna have a list to be on camera?
Do you have a list? Do you have a list to go on? Do you have a list?
I don't really have a list so much. I can tell you other things that we've been doing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
We've been foraging, not just elderberry, but we got one. She told you about the mullein leaf, and of course, we're supposed to get together with some of the other homesteaders and do
That's right.
mullein leaf and more flowers. There's a lot of mullein here, and of course, I like to do. I have some salves with me. Oh, and I was excited about this today, y'all. I saw a lady and she had this rash on the bend of her elbow, and I was like, I have something for that. And she's like, really? So I gave her some of my plantain salve, and she's like, that feels amazing. It's already not hurting. And it's like, yeah, told you.
Yeah.
That I actually.
And this
had
was a
that.
stranger, by the way.
Yes,
Yes,
a
She did not know
stranger.
this person.
No.
And you said,
I just saw she had a rash on her arm. I was like, man, that looks like it's fiery.
what
hot.
did it look like? Like
Well, she had
eczema?
whelps and
oh
no, it ended up being poison ivy rash.
Oh, okay. So the plantain. I
But the
actually
plantain
had
did
that on my list because the neighbor kid got stung here, and I had your plantain salve. Actually, I had the calendula and the plantain, and I was like, "Oh no, which one? Which one? Which one? Which one?" So I took the lids off of both and set the lids down, and then took the jars outside to the child. And I was like, okay, just grabbed one and put it on. And then when I went to take it back in, I was like, uh-oh, I don't know which lid went to which container because they look the same. And she's like, no, this one's a different color. And I'm like, are you sure? Which one's which? And she's like, this one. And I'm like, okay, then that's what I put on her. It was the plantain.
It was funny to see this girl. Not, I don't mean this mean, but to get stung by a wasp. Getting stung by a wasp wasn't funny, but
No,
to
that
see
wasn't
these
funny.
two chasing them with salve cans. Hey, I'll help you.
Well,
It's like the
it
total
helped.
witches of Eastwick.
It helped.
I just got kicked,
Good
by the way.
grief. It helped.
Yeah.
So she was better. The salve helped it,
Mhm.
and I was happy to have it. So thank you.
Yes, yeah.
I actually got that from the.
First time. Right?
I don't know. It was one of the campouts.
Mhm. First time at Midwest Preparedness.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. I
Yep.
love it too.
Barb says, I heard the fires in Hawaii were most likely from a laser in 3 areas at the same time.
Oh,
Which I know everyone knows that Hawaii's been burning, right?
just so like today.
Yeah. But you guys want to hear something that's crazy? Is there's an equal number of fires being burned in Russia right now. Right. And so I would buy the laser story. I would buy it's part of warfare. I'd buy all that because it's going on all over. You know, we're just getting fed by the mainstream media what they want us to see.
It's the aliens, right?
Might be. Isn't it crazy that I said this the other night to you that the government officially admits that aliens exist and crickets? Nobody cares.
No.
Remember when they, what was it, Wells, who said it in the 50s, you know, that radio broadcast, and it scared
War
the
of the
hell.
Worlds.
The War of the Worlds. And yet they
Oh,
mentioned
right.
none of it. And that it doesn't do anything. Nobody cares. They're, you know, on their phones and trapped in their.
Their own world.
Mhm. I watched a video yesterday of, they were doing a study on a bunch of little girls. And the little, meaning 4, 5, 6 years old. And they were sleeping. and in their sleep they were going
No.
Oh,
and hitting buttons and
really?
mhm.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, that's super bad.
We got work to do. We can fix that real quick.
Yeah, we need to shut the shit down.
Yeah.
Eagle Lover Texas says I need to go to the local school board and do away with school taxes for folks over 65. Yeah, I think the more worthy our fight there is get rid of property taxes on anybody at retirement age.
I vote for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to fight here in our county. Is my first big fight is to remove property taxes on anyone at retirement age. Banquet of Consequences found artichoke. You found artichoke today too,
Yeah.
didn't you? On
Mhm.
that one property that you looked at.
Yeah.
Is that right?
We have it here, actually.
Let me see here. There's a lady from here stuck on Maui. She said caused by a dry brush, wind, and humidity. Well, it's also being pushed by the hurricane that's out there. You know, the winds are excessive, being drawn by that. But I think it's warfare. Anyone who doesn't think weather manipulation happens, I promise you it happens. Just
oh,
go.
yeah. They've
Yeah.
already said that does.
What's this here? Rose, by the way, good evening, says teaspoons ground, cinnamon 2 teaspoons, nutmeg ground 2 teaspoons, cloves. This is the ingredients from scratch,
Allspice.
allspice. Yep. Rose, we speak Rose. We got through it. Tonight's live sponsored by the Leaky Cauldron.
In Diagon Alley.
Oh, wait, I wanted to talk about Rain. Rain Country had a great comment up here. Oh, here we go. Don't forget, I waited 15 years from the start of my kitchen cabinets when Patrick built the lowers until he finally got around to doing the uppers.
And they're beautiful, by the way.
They are beautiful.
15 years.
Yeah, and that kind of beauty takes time. And we need to be left alone to build them and not be harassed at the 27,000
you
other
think
projects.
it was
Oh,
us
yeah.
that caused it.
Oh yeah, if Heidi would have just not been harassing Patrick, those cabinets would have been done long ago.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah.
I bet you Heidi can't wait to meet you also.
Indiana Mike says he'll help carry the table. Gypsy says he'll help carry the table. Yeah, it's all good, right? Oh my goodness, I bet I'm way behind. I'm just gonna. I gotta skip down a little bit. Tamara says that lavender works good on washings.
Yes, and I actually was looking for my lavender, but my bottle that I had on the counter was empty, so I was in a hurry.
Yeah, Rain Country says, what about those who homeschool? Why should they have to be taxed for the schools? Yeah, well, I think there's some of it. If it depends on the level they participate. There's a lot of kids who homeschool here in Kansas. There's a law here that says if you homeschool, you can still join all the extracurricular activities of the schools. So if you want to play football or you want to play basketball or you want to be on the debate team or you want to, so if there's services being used at any point, I think that that's fair. But I think we should get on the property tax issue because it's such a bigger issue to me than the schools. The truth is, as long as there's taxes that exist on your property, you'll never own it.
Yep.
That's just a fact. Kids are going to get out of school. I'd rather pay high taxes for schools for the 18 years the kids are in school and not have property taxes when I get on a fixed income, right? So I think if we can fight anything, I think that's what I'd be fighting, or at least my opinion.
Did you see Mr. Rain's comment?
Right there.
Yeah.
Mr. Rain said, when will you be making Freeman hats in tinfoil? Yeah, well, if I could ever get my table done, I'd be freed up to do those things, Mr.
Yeah,
Rain.
so you'll have to just line your own hat.
Yep.
With tinfoil.
Yep. See, look at this. There we go. Mr. Rain knows. If Heidi would have been harassing him about the, other things, he'd have got the cabinets done long ago. Let me see where we at here. Texas Governor Abbott signed a bill to decrease our property taxes. How wonderful. Yep. Yeah, Will Be Cool says just rent to the government. It's fact. That's why property tax, I think, should be the fight. Because everything else, if you can't pay your taxes to the schools, what are they going to do, right? I mean, the problem with our property is they can take your property. You never own it. You spend all this time.
Right.
Yeah.
We've got to fight the property tax rule. We here in where I live are working hard at getting enough presence on the commissioners that we can really make a run at this. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that had to go on. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes, but we're going to make a serious run at getting rid of it. And I don't know if we'll win or not, but
That would be amazing.
Yes, it would.
taxes for school because of football, apparently. Well, if they don't participate in it, I don't know if they should have to pay for it, but but then I don't know. Again, I'd rather fight the other fight. Tam says, do you have Bluebell homemade vanilla ice cream up there? Yeah, they sell Bluebell here.
Bluebell, I'm
Don't
not
they?
sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bluebell?
I don't know that you do, but I can't say. I didn't go shopping for ice cream while I've been here.
Yeah, Barb says in Missouri it's tax-free land for seniors. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. And there's a lot of states moving to it. We're not going to be the first
Missouri.
ones. There's 7 or 8 of them out there who do it now. And so, which is another reason why you got to pick the fight you think you can win.
Yeah.
Don't just fight every fight. If you go to your local county and say, hey, I shouldn't have to pay taxes on schools because I don't have any kids in school, you're going to lose that fight.
Yeah.
Go fight the one you think you can win. Yes, property tax as a whole is wrong. We should have a choice to pay into the services such as fire department, libraries, and schools. Yeah, I don't disagree, but I think what we have to do, Heidi, is we have to take that battle on one piece at a time. If you go take on that big battle, you're just never going to get there. Let's get one off the list. And once we make that ground, let's get another person elected and make some more ground. So we have to take a fight that already has precedence, which is why I like the property tax. No property tax after 65 because there's other states already doing it. There's other counties that are already doing it.
Yeah.
So we have precedence. And if we can get that done, now we've got some wind behind our sails,
Yeah.
and we can continue to fight that good fight.
That makes sense.
Yep. I got to put that up just because. Yep.
Senior. Okay.
Yep. If you all do not stop talking about ice cream, I'm going to have to kick Mr. Rain's butt out of the door to go get some. Yeah. Maybe if you didn't eat so much ice cream, you'd have finished your cabinets.
Oh,
Next time, whenever I see Heidi, she's going to walk up to me and just
kick you in the
kick
shin.
me. Yep. Just kick me out of the blue.
give you a karate chop.
Oh, right.
No, Amber says I should at least get my school supplies tax free. I don't mind paying into the school system. It benefits me for my neighbors to be more educated, but shouldn't have to pay taxes on my curriculum.
Do y'all not have a tax-free weekend here where you can buy all of that, all
No.
school supplies and things? There's like a weekend.
No,
Oh,
not here.
okay.
Hey, check this out. The amazing American Roots Farm is here.
Yay.
Yeah, these girls are going to go over there and raid your property for more potions and and witchcraft stuff.
It's just food.
It's food.
He makes it sound so exotic.
Or scary. Oh,
We could totally do a T-shirt, with like Heidi from Rain Country and a bunch of you guys on the Witches of Eastwick, and we could have some fun with that. It'd be fun. I say witches with the utmost respect. I
don't
really
think
do.
That movie was about like happy potions.
No, but that's the only witch movie I could think about.
Well,
Yeah.
how about you don't think of it as witch anything? How about you think of it as healing and loving and
Control freak anymore.
nurturing.
yes,
Now she wants to control how I think.
nurturing.
Nurturing.
Yeah, American Root says glad someone's getting to use it. Yeah. Oh, you got another thing? Or you want me to keep plugging?
So one of the things I had on here was chicken hatching. So we are done chicken hatching for the year because it's too hot and it's getting too late.
Mhm.
Because if we do a batch too late in the year, then we will have them brooding in the house in the winter,
Mhm.
and I don't want that. So we have determined that chicken hatching is February through June
Mhm.
around here. Because after June, the temperatures are so hot that no matter where you put the eggs, they start to or they're already fertilized, so that they start to incubate just on day one. So then come time for hatch, I had birds hatching at day 16.
Oh,
And then day 17 and 18 and 19, because it was It was
trying
too
to move
hot.
over for you. Here you go. If you want to move forward.
After like 2 hours, you want me to move my chair?
It's an hour and 14
Can we
minutes.
just stay where we're at, or instead of playing musical chairs, everybody just, I did not toot. Everybody just like, woo, like parted the sea for me.
It was requested. That's why I moved up.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I know. Minnesota Mama Bear, hello. Hey, I like this though. Banquet of Consequence says practical magic. That's a good t-shirt too.
Hey, practical magic.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's not
How am I
magic.
doing here? Okay. Camber said she shut her hatching down in early May.
May.
Yeah, I think we can
Okay.
go a little bit further because of the temperatures. Because you got a batch, like you had a batch hatching.
That was the last batch.
When did they
was-
hatch? That last batch?
I don't know. I can look it up though, but they're still pretty small right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and we got to get into
And
the
if we
winter.
go any later, then I'm afraid that it won't be warm. They'll be like teenage or just under teenage size, and then they'll be in the
Yeah, see-
house.
Starla says B needs to move up so we can see her pretty face.
I'm right here. I can
Move my chair so you can get in here.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good. I'll just sit at the tippy of my chair. How's that? I was all sitting back, all comfy, like I was, own the place.
Tamber says it's harder to keep chicks cool than it is to keep them warm. And American Roots says Practical Magic is a bad movie. I've never seen it. I don't watch that many movies, so.
I didn't know it was a movie. I thought he.
Yeah, American Roots says I'm chicken sick. 3 of my 5 chickens are roosters.
Ugh.
Ouch.
Yep. You know what though?
Yeah, you don't want to let that continue for long.
No, just raise them and put them in a pot.
Yeah, but in order to make it worth it, she's gonna have to raise it until it's like
Ready to crow.
hot. Yeah, well, no, not crowing, but I mean they have to be beefy, right? They have to have something on there. Otherwise, you got little
So
tiny thing. You
She's gonna raise them anyway.
bones.
They look like Cornish hens.
You cannot
can
leave
scare
them together. Not with 2 hens and 3 roos.
no, you tell Joe, get your butt out in the yard like you tell me and get another coop built.
Joe's got other things to do.
So do I. Don't stop you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but they're moving. We're not. That's different. That
American Roots says it is illegal to have roosters in Glendale.
illegal.
Yeah, definitely time to move.
Put them in the pot. Feed them to the dogs if they're too little for
Yeah,
you to
they're
have
too
dinner
little.
on.
Yeah. Yeah, let's teach our dogs to eat chickens
No,
right
don't
before
do
we buy a
that.
homestead
Don't do
and
that.
move.
Don't feed
That'd
them
be
to the dogs.
That'd be bad.
Oh, you mean cook it and then like
Cook it
looks
and
like it looks
Clean
like
it and feed it.
it
Yeah.
looks like
no.
different chicken.
I thought you meant, here you go.
Toss it to the dog,
No,
feathers and all.
no, no. Don't want
She
them.
just jumps right to conclusions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Anybody in Arizona want some roosters? American Roots has got some.
Mm-hmm. At least 2.
Yep.
We got to eeny, meeny, miny, mo that combo.
Okay.
Try to pick one.
Got anything else? Let me keep going. Lisa,
Oh,
you got anything
sorry.
else to talk about? Let me just keep trucking.
There's a new lamb video coming out.
Yeah, I already talked about that.
Oh, okay.
You were part of that live.
I don't know if I was or not. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a new land video coming out here in just a couple days.
Nope, that's it.
It's a beautiful piece of land too.
It's a beautiful piece of land.
Yeah, and it's going to be neighbor to another homestead. So you gotta love that, right?
Yep. House, barn, land.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Fencing.
Yep.
Looks good.
Yep.
Nope, I'm done.
Okay, so did you hear that
Oh, go ahead.
the global COVID cases are up by 80% month over month, which I find pretty interesting.
They're up.
They're up, yeah.
Hmm.
So, but what's more interesting about that, if you guys remember in May, the World Health Organization came out and declared
Oh,
an end to the COVID pandemic.
Yes, they did.
In May, they did.
They did.
And yet today I read an article where they talked about how globally the COVID now cases are now up 80%.
80%.
80.
80%.
See, I thought that.
That's
yeah.
me.
Oh,
So I find that
I
interesting.
don't think that they're talking to each other. I think he didn't get the memo.
Apparently. Apparently.
That was a late.
Yep. Anheuser-Busch, so Budweiser, sales are down for the 17th straight week. Down over 30% from the year over. Modelo has now become America's most popular beer, overtaking Budweiser. Anheuser-Busch CEO said, and I found this absolutely hilarious. So Anheuser-Busch's CEO says, and where's that there? And I can quote, consumers want to drink beer without a debate. They want us to focus on making beer. Duh. I wonder how many millions of dollars they spent figuring that one out.
That was who said that?
Hmm?
Who said that?
That's the CEO of Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah. It's crazy how he wouldn't have taken that advice just a few months
Yeah,
ago.
Brain Country says it is all the vaccinated getting COVID for the 54th time.
Mhm.
Yeah, Crunchy Mama wants to know if we're still supposed to be scared of COVID. Well, they would prefer it. Yeah. American Roots says, oops, sorry, Rain. They are, and I'm surrounded by a lack of herd immunity. Yes, you are. But here we go. That's what I wanted. Modelo is owned by InBev. I'm actually going to get to something interesting about that as I continue on my statistics about beer.
Oh, I didn't realize you
Yeah.
had statistics on beer.
No, this stuff's interesting. But so because of all the troubles of Anheuser-Busch, they've now sold Shock Top, Breckenridge Brewery, Blue Point Brewery, 10 Barrels Brewery, Red Hook Brewery, Winmer Brothers Brewery, Square Mile Brewery, and Highball Energy Drink Companies. So they owned all of those. They have now sold them to Tilray. You guys, anybody know who Tilray is?
No.
So Tilray is a marijuana company.
Huh.
I just think life's
Well, what
hilarious
what are they gonna
sometimes.
do with that?
They're going to run beer
They're
companies.
gonna make beer?
Yeah. Well, all of these were small, like Breckenridge Brewery was out of Colorado. I remember them coming up when I was a young man living there. And so Bud comes in and buys all these breweries up, right? Because then they get to control all of it. And now they're having to sell it all off. Guys, I'm telling you, Budweiser will never recover. It's game over because what made Budweiser so successful was, the American man, hardworking. And what's going to happen, there is nobody redneck wise that's going to walk in a bar and say, give me a Bud.
Nope.
It ain't happening.
Nope.
I don't care what they do now. It is non-recoverable.
You don't even see them walking out stores with them
No.
anymore.
It is non-recoverable. It's funny. There was a report in California where a reporter was showing that Budweiser was cheaper than canned water
Oh wow.
because they couldn't get rid of it. Okay, I've missed so many. Okay, well,
They're starting a new company.
let me see here. I'll just start right there. Did you see the video of Sturgis Bike Rally? Bud tent was empty. I didn't see it, but that doesn't surprise me. Oh my goodness, where are we at? Up there. I'm beginning to believe we actually now live in Egypt because everywhere I look, all I see is denial. Yeah. Yeah. Bush family is starting a new beer company. Oh, I wonder what it's called. Yeah, it'd be Dumbass Brewery. Let me see here. Herd mentality is quite a pandemic of its own. It is. I just think it's fascinating that they keep going back to it. It's like the tactics, wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me. Yeah. So let me see. Costco's taking it off the shelves. Yeah. Yep. You lose shelf space at Costco, you're done. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So another couple interesting things. So did you guys know that the United States has fallen out of the top 50 in life expectancy?
Wow.
So what I didn't know about
What it
this,
fell
I knew
to.
that it had fallen a bunch, but what I didn't know is it's been falling since 1955. In 1955, we were in the top 10 for life expectancy. And so think about all the medical advancements that's gone on. This, Lisa, to you, right? I mean, this is, this. All the medical advancements since 1955. Why is our life expectancy falling?
Going down.
Because of all of those processed foods in the
That's
market.
right.
Ah.
That is 100% right. That's what I think too. Anybody else have any theories on why the life expectancy of Americans has been decreasing since 1955? They gave, when I read the article, they gave a lot of, it's super complex. Which I'm sure it is, but I think it's how we eat. I think it's textiles, right? I think it's, what we're absorbing through our skins, the things we're wearing on our bodies. I think it's the medication problems.
Endocrine disruptors.
All that. I mean, diet, every time you go to the doctor with any kind of problem, you get a new medicine.
Oh, fluoride.
Yep.
Big
Oh,
pharma.
fluoride. Look at this. I love you guys. Fluoride.
Mhm.
Big farmer. Oh, this is interesting. Since the Green Revolution, huh? Right? Hey, by the way, American Roots mom says hi.
Hey.
Let me see here. Death by supermarket.
Yeah.
Yep. Bush Family Brewery, they have not been a part of Anheuser-Busch for many years. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yep.
But they're starting a new company.
Yep.
But
The super. But problem is the Bush name. Well, Bush would be okay. Bud Light's done. The supermarkets were born. Here we go. What's he say? Microdosing of everything, including hormones, like disruptors. Yeah. Barb says chemtrails.
You're there.
Yep.
Yep. They've said they're there.
Oh, I love this one. Rain says, since they convinced everyone that margarine was better than butter.
That was the 80s, right?
Yeah. I don't know when that was, but I remember it. So it might have been 70s, but it's right there somewhere. Dana Green says medicine. Yeah. MJ Wisconsin says some of the treatments they are trying to convince us to do and to take.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Health-
interesting?
Healthcare.
Who would have?
Healthcare.
Yeah, the whole
Healthcare.
healthcare system.
That's right. Who would have thought that America, for everything that's great in America, that would be out of the top 50 in life expectancy? You know, we think of us as the land of the free, right?
Yeah.
Are we? Is that propaganda?
Well,
I mean, right? I find that just super, super interesting. Yep. Here we go. Bird's Eye View says contaminated water. Several people I served with died of some type of cancer linked to water around military bases.
oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yep. And the government knows more about nutrition than your granny that fed 12 kids on in her backyard. Yeah, right. Yep. See here. And now they're telling us that Brazil nuts will kill us.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Dana says, I tested positive for COVID last week. Just day half of filling blah. No jab. Good for you. Yeah, I think, guys, we got another big pandemic coming. And more importantly, I think we got lockdowns coming. And I think the lockdowns are what we need to prepare for. And it don't necessarily have to be COVID related. It could be a financial lockdown. It could be, right, a climate lockdown. There's all kinds of things that they could do to spin and turn that to get us to stay put. Here we go. Since they took real food out of the food, plastic rice, right? This is what I think so too. I think it has probably most to do with processed foods. You know, the environment in which, well, obviously the environment in which we live in. So the good news is, though, oh, here we go. Brett Boyd. How you doing, Brett? Says healthcare is the new demon.
Well, and even when you think that you're doing good, even when you think that you're eating good, there's plastic in the food. There's
You're like, I'm going to go get this bag of rice because it's healthy, and I'm going to cook it up myself to find out there's plastic particles in it.
or there's plastic in the meat. There's plastic. I mean, there's plastic in lots of food.
Yeah.
So, and then
Sawdust.
sawdust. Yes.
Yeah. If you're ever curious, go watch how lunch meat is made.
Oh, no. I've seen it actually. When I was a kid, it's pretty interesting. You'll never eat lunch meat.
You'll never eat lunch meat again if you watch it.
Liquid at one point
Yeah.
in time.
Yeah. Climate lockdowns. Potato Joe said so. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you,
Already said so, huh?
there is a lot of ways they can lock us down through this to keep us from moving around and do those things. So I would prepare for a lockdown. I absolutely would, because I think it's a certainty that it will come.
Climate lockdowns.
Yeah. What they'll say is hey, you know, our grid is really, really stressed right now. And so we don't want a lot of people flying around. We don't want to use a lot of energy. Our strategic reserves, you guys have heard our strategic reserves are down.
Yeah.
We need to refill them for national security,
Hmm.
right? There's a lot of ways they can attack the climate, and then start with the rolling blackouts, which are going on across our country now. You're allowed to have power this time or that time, or, you know, your carbon footprint's too big. You know, you
Yeah.
drive a big old truck, so you've used your allotment this week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's 100% feasible
Goodness.
and possible. Yeah, Brett Boyd. Oops, sorry, Brett. I tried to hit you right there. See, Brett Boyd says, my wife's a nurse. Yeah, Bird's Eye View says PFAS in almost everything. Gregory says, will we comply? Yes. How will you not?
So I think too, you will comply because they'll take away whatever it is you want. I think when you
Turn your
went
power off.
just the other day, you had, or not the other day, for a week, over a week, you were having phone problems.
Mhm.
And you ended up having to get a new SIM card.
Yep.
And now my phone is doing the same thing that your phone was doing.
Mhm.
and probably need a new SIM card. That it's like, oh, you guys haven't had the new updated
Mhm.
whatever. We will make your phone not work until you come in and we will put it in your
Yes.
phone. Or we
Did
will
that to
make
mine
your
too. Yeah.
You needed a new SIM card
I had to get one.
here recently?
It's been a few months. But
Ah,
that's
so
recent, right?
so wonder if it goes by last name.
Right.
You know, like our license plates.
Oh, this is such a good point. Eagle Lover Texas says, I feel like I'm in a lockdown. I must be inside the house by 9 a.m. and can't go out till 9 p.m. due to the heat.
Yeah.
Right?
Chemtrails, right?
Environmental
Oh
lockdown.
my gosh,
Yes.
Eagle Lover.
Oh, you know, it's interesting.
Wow.
Since you guys brought this up,
Since
So,
you just said this.
Monkey Works put out a video today. And actually, I got this from Eagle Lover Texas in an email earlier today.
Oh.
They did a video about how AI now is using the radio waves from your phone. And so it can tap in and it can say, without any video, without anything, just simply by the radio waves, it can map your house. And it can say, oh, the people are in the kitchen, or oh, the people are in, right? Just
If you're with your phone?
if there's a phone in your house, it's using your router, your internet, it's using.
So how does the phone know that
Where's
where
that
the
aluminum
people
foil
are?
at?
Well, we need to make some free men write aluminum hats, according to Hippocrates.
Right.
Right.
I don't know. Aluminum tears so easy.
Yeah.
Like
no, but
foil.
if
Get the heavy duties.
if you guys go to the video or go to the channel Monkey Works, and there's a video today, and I think if I remember right, an Eagle Lover, correct me if I'm wrong, it was at the 9:40 minute of the video where he actually shows the video of them using the routers in your house and the phone
Yeah.
to actually map the house. And so I
Yeah.
think what's important about this is remember, be able to shut it down. Have the ability to turn off the internet, have the ability to do those things, and then also question what you want connected to it. I know that the smart technology is nice, but guys, I can tell you my solar system was never been on the internet, and nor will it be. It's not convenient. It'd be way more convenient to just play with it on my phone. But I am really, really scared of it. Let me see here. Brett says, I'm in South Florida and people are now testing for COVID positive. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get a whole
Florida.
another big deal of it. Well, Florida's also having a big ramp up in leprosy, which I find interesting. You know, I was asking Lisa if she'd ever dealt with it earlier. She gave me that look like, are you stupid? I just had a spinal fusion Monday, requested non-vaxxed blood if transfusion is needed. They said not happening. Stay healthy, y'all.
Oh wow.
Here you go,
Not
right?
happening.
Just think of the different ways they can lock you down, right?
Hope you have a good recovery.
Yeah, I wish you a good
Wait.
recovery as well. Yep. Yeah. Banquet says, I have a flip phone. Yeah, but if it has cell service, they can use that transmission, that radio wave, to map a house, right? Because when your radio wave from my phone, let's say I hope it's going out, it's bouncing off stuff, right? Now it's getting to the towers, but it's bouncing,
Right.
you know, like a radar
Sure.
in a lot of ways. No. Let me see here. Yeah, Faraday hats. Eagle Over Texas said yes, 9:40. Okay. I won't even get a bed that hooks up to my phone. Well, that's
A
good.
bed?
I didn't know you could get a bed that hooked up to your phone.
Good
Who
grief.
said that?
American Roots.
Okay.
Banquet of Consequences. I have a banquet of consequences. I have a landline into my laptop, no wireless router. Yeah, this computer is hardwired too, but I think there's a purpose of that. Maybe we start looking at as we're building to hardwire everything and not let there be wireless things.
No Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi, because again, it's bouncing signals off. It's also not just that, but you know, they talk about EMF, right? Radiation, all the things that come off those wireless networks. Maybe a way to do that is to just get rid of all the wireless. Just make it where
You just
your-
plug it in.
Hardwired.
your computers are all hardwired. You know, maybe that's a good idea. Let me see here. Johnny, how you doing, Johnny? Says North Texas has seen a rise in cases too, sending people home again. Mhm. Yeah. So they only take blood now from those who have been vaccinated? Question mark.
Or they just put it into a big old vat.
Mm-hmm.
They mix it together.
Probably not.
Yeah. So let's talk alternatives. What are they? What was the last one?
Isn't there a blood bank of pure bloods?
There have been talk about that, but I don't think it's actually. I would doubt that. I don't know. Maybe. What do you think?
You think
I
there's
think
a blood
there's no
bank?
such thing as a pure blood.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think we've been vaccinated since we were born,
Yeah.
and military people have to get vaccines, and their families have to get vaccines, and
Yeah.
can't go to school without vaccines.
Yeah.
Granted, the latest COVID vaccine, we did have a choice whether we took it or not took it.
Mhm.
So, but there's no such thing as pure blood, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. Well, I think you would know. I mean, right.
Well, I know my opinion.
She would have an opinion.
Right. Right. So alternatives, she's talking about alternatives to technology. Well, I mean, the thing is, the internet's nice and you need it for lots of things, to be able to, I mean, we use it all the time on the homestead to research, what about this or what about that? But I think having the ability to cut it off, I think maybe, being able to, hardwire, like we talked about earlier, I think maybe will help. I'm going to look at some of these things, as those stories continue to come out. I think AI is going to change everything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I'll bet you guys it won't be long and video evidence will no longer be admissible in court.
Right. Well, you can make a video do anything.
Anything, right. You make it show anything.
Green screen. Yeah. Your voice, you can make people say whatever with a
Weather Homestead, if you have to go to or have a surgery, you can always donate your own blood. Beforehand, if it's not an emergency.
Oh, good call.
So
Super
you
good
go
call.
in there and you tell them you are donating blood for your own
For
use.
yourself,
And then what
yes.
happens if you don't use it? Can you take it home with you?
No, they keep it.
For what?
Actually,
For
they may
you
discard it.
later?
No, it's gone. It expires. Blood doesn't last forever.
That's too bad.
Dana says a family in Australia had the rights taken away to perform surgery on their baby. They requested and got blood donated by a non-vax, but Australia said no. Yeah. Get blood from those you know. Dana says if you are scheduling a surgery, can't help with emergencies. Yeah. During the last lockdowns, we just didn't comply and nobody enforced anything. Yeah. What I think this is actually a super interesting point. I've watched a couple times now where people stood up to the powers that be and they just back down. A lot of the laws that go on today aren't really laws. And if you challenge it, they'll back off.
Right.
Because, it's just not true. Everyone forgets at one time, blood banks refused to take blood from vaccinated.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either. The phone's been tracking for sure for the last 10 years. Every place I go and down to the minute, they record how many miles each month. So I don't take my phone with me. And that's a way to combat it, right? I mean, maybe we need to learn how to separate our phone from our hip. Maybe go back to a landline. I mean,
Get a pager.
No.
same thing, right?
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Same thing. Maybe you leave me a message and I'll call you at my earliest convenience. Literally means I'm not carrying my phone with me. And when I get done working, I'll visit with you. Pockery says, remember Leather Homestead said, get blood from people you know. Said, oh, heck no. I know where they've been. Yeah. I don't want their blood. Yeah. It already is. My principal is sending around Instagrams about how teachers can utilize AI to teach and to make lesson plans.
Wow.
Yeah. That's not surprising to me.
Yeah. Gregory says, my wife has nightmares about AI taking over. I got to skip
Start
down,
with the
guys.
children, right?
Yep.
Yep. CB radio, 2 cans and a string. I leave my phone, says Johnny. Yeah, I think maybe that's a great way to do it, right? Separate from your phone for one day and you will see how much mind control it has. Yeah, I was talking earlier to American Roots before I got on here. I watched a video of a bunch of little girls sleeping at night in a study, and they were scrolling through their phone in their sleep and touching buttons in their sleep. And maybe we need to be controlling about how much that goes on, I made my kids wait till they were 12 to get a cell phone. Their first ones, and maybe that's too early, I don't know.
Yeah, but we needed to be able to get a hold of them when they were away from us.
Yep, Gypsy says, so far COVID and the backs haven't caught up with me. Beep, beep. Oh, so we have the Roadrunner.
That's right, because you're the road runner.
Yeah, Rosie says smoke signals. All right. Ready for the next thing?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I have so many. You turn the light on?
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys hear that Biden requested $24 billion more for Ukraine? $24 billion more to fund the war against Russia. And the number I don't think matters so much. I think what's important about it is, and I've told you guys this many times on this channel, and that is that the United States government will not allow Ukraine to lose. They will escalate it to whatever level, because if they allow Ukraine to lose, what it does is it shows the world America's losing its power. We're already on the brink of losing our status as the reserve currency, right? We're already kind of a falling empire. The world is beginning to question. I mean, there's proof of this, guys, with BRICS, right? The BRICS nations, all those things that are coming up. And so if we stand up to Russia and then we back off and we allow the Ukraine to fall, it will be seen, I believe it will be seen as weakness in America, and it will trigger that whole thing. And off we go. So I believe the United States is going to put everything into this, and I don't think there's any chance they're going to back down until they lose or have no other options. And I think proof of that is Biden asked for $24 billion today, when just a couple weeks ago he was talking about maybe asking for 10. Right? But on some good news, so their parents in California, I read this, was super interesting today, forced the school board there to create a policy that would notify them if any of the children identified as transsexual. Because the teachers were complaining about they don't feel comfortable having to lie to the parents. And so now any child who identifies that way, at least in this school district in California, will have to be notified. And I think that's pretty neat that at least somebody stood up to them.
Yeah. To
me, I think that's pretty neat. All right, where are we at? Yeah, just printing fake money, right? Oh, was it $49? So there is a couple countries who have this super lucrative offer to their public to chip them. Did you read this?
I heard a little bit of it.
Okay. So they're putting chips in their hands, right, to be able to pay for things and all of this stuff. But it's a super lucrative deal. And can you guys guess how much it was? It's $49. $49 to give up your sovereignty.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Was that a third world country?
Yeah, in Africa. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We are being forced to pay taxes to fund schools and more. Oh yeah. We're paying taxes to murder people and to spread tyranny across the globe. Yeah. Yeah. American Root says he don't know the difference between 10 and 23. Observer 777, how are you? Civilization managed to get all the way to the invention of the phone without a phone. It can be done. The problem is we have become an instant gratification society. We want it now. Yep. Yeah, I always refer to it as the keyless entry culture. You know, open, close, one button, you know. Mr. Rain says the U.S. has already shown it's weak, at least the administration. 100% agree, but I think that's even more reason, Mr. Rain, why they won't allow it. Right? Because there's the littlest thing that says, oh, look, America's done. And what's going to happen is you're going to have all these countries flooding away from the dollar, which will collapse us. It's done. You know, they pull the reserve currency. It's game, set, match. It's a game over plan, thing. So Johnny says the only thing that worries me about not having a phone is accidents. Hence, I carry a blowout kit. Let me see here. The only chips I want in my hand are barbecue potato chips. Yeah. Dana says, but in Africa, that's about a month's wages.
It's still not enough.
No. Yeah, Crunchy Mama says they can print all the money they want. What happens when they run out of soldiers? Can't print those. Actually, 3D printing's come a long way. And there's some pretty badass robots out there. Drones,
yes, AI.
Drones, right? I mean, the fights going on in Russia. I don't know if you guys know this, but Russia's burning. Moscow has been attacked 4 or 5 times this week. The Ukrainians are attacking Russia. And that's all being done with drones. That's none of that is soldiers on the ground. That's somebody flying a drone into Moscow and, running into a building or whatever it is. So I would agree they can't print human soldiers, but they can certainly print a drone. Right. I often wonder here, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it, is, we can combat so many things, but how do you combat the drone from the air? I can make the tax man stand at my driveway to assess my property. It's easy. He's not allowed on my property. It's private property. But how do I stop him from flying over with a drone and just taking pictures of all of it? Or as AI continues, that whole ability to track everything, it's the airspace. I don't know how to combat it,
right?
Without coming up with some kind of, frequency jamming something or other. But Crunchyroll, actually, they can metal print robot soldiers. Yeah. Mr. Rain says countries are already divorcing the U.S. They are, but this is exactly my point, though.
Mhm.
Right? You all good?
I was opening some windows.
Okay.
And then I have some really bad itchies on my ankles.
I have something for that.
Oh, I hope so.
You have chiggers?
Yeah.
Oh,
So just a
no.
little couple bites.
You got them?
Yeah. Walking those.
You have something for that.
Yeah. Get
Walking
a drone
some
hunting permit with no limit.
properties.
Yeah. I wish it was that easy.
Yeah. Is it that
Yeah,
easy?
it's mind blowing that the military is doing with drones and robots. Yeah, it is. Skynet. Isn't it interesting how the Terminator movies use the word Skynet to describe it, and now they're using the word Skynet to describe it?
Mhm.
Like, to me, that's like just super fascinating. Super.
Skynet.
All right.
They have no imagination, so they're using imagination.
Yep. So, in case you guys know, Task Force Lima from the Department of Defense is the new AI task force. It's going to be monitoring all technologies and AI to ensure that it's protecting national security and the best interest of the American people. So,
Well, thank goodness.
well, you want me to interpret that?
Yes.
The federal government just gave themselves power over private industry and the AI business to get a hold of the best technologies to use it to what they see fit as national security. That's what that means.
As they see
As they
fit.
see fit, national
Yeah.
security. Yep. Yep. Johnny says nail polish works great on sugar bites.
You think?
Yeah, you know what I like to use is absorbing junior. So when I get a sugar bite, I like to scratch the head off a little bit, like break the skin,
Like make it burn.
and then I put absorbing.
I
It
think
burns,
it's the
but it
wintergreen in it.
takes it right out.
It's because it's wintergreen, right?
Yeah,
That like
I don't know, but-
that tingly. Is that
The
what you
menthol.
like?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So here's the thing about the nail polish. I would like have to, dot all the way up. Plus then it leaves a little crust on there. So when you do scratch at it,
You just flick the nail polish right back off. Yeah. My salve works pretty good.
yeah. Yeah. Was it the calendula salve? What would you put on there?
I'm still using the plantain. For
The
that,
plantain.
probably.
I'm gonna need more of that.
Mhm. Yeah, well, we can get some tomorrow.
All right.
She's like, get it out of your yard, lady.
we can start that tomorrow.
You guys want to hear some interesting economic statistics
Yes.
that are going on right now? So household income is down 9.1% over last year. Okay. So, but don't forget, inflation's 4 or 5.
Oh,
Remember that through all of this, right? Credit card debt for the first time ever has surpassed $1 trillion.
Really?
wow.
So our incomes, or the average household income, is now down 9.1%.
Right.
Credit card debt has just surpassed $1 trillion for the first time ever. Average interest rate on credit card now averages over 20%.
Yeah, I knew that.
That hasn't
25.
happened since the 70s.
Yeah, I remember that.
Crazy, huh? What else do
I
we
thought
got?
that was a pretty normal thing.
21%.
20. I thought.
Didn't they had to go down once after.
I don't have a whole lot of experience
I
with
don't
that.
know what
so-
year it was, but
Credit card delinquency is at its highest level since 2012. So you got to put all these pieces together, right? Because it matters together.
Well, yeah, because people
Incomes are down
yeah,
9.1%.
they're struggling.
Credit card debt, people using their credit card is up to a highest level ever, and they're paying an interest rate of 20%. So what does this mean for the long term? What does this mean for the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or a year? Because they're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, that
Right?
doesn't sound good at all.
Yeah.
That's like sounds like what the condition that we're in
Yep.
as a country.
You guys, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but most like 401ks and things like that have what they call a hardship withdrawal, where you can actually apply for a withdrawal out of one of those savings account without getting penalized to borrow against it in the case of a hardship.
Do you have to prove the hardship? What,
I've never done it, so I don't know what the process is. But what I think is interesting is hardship withdrawals are up 30% over the second quarter this year,
oh,
which I find super fascinating.
Mm.
The
so
cost today of owning a home is 20% more than it was last year.
Yeah.
Which by the way was up 19% over the year before. So that's 40%
in 2 years.
Right.
right? And household incomes, don't forget, are down 9.1%. And credit card use is over $1 trillion, right? You got to put that whole piece together. Yeah.
It's in
Comes-
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Right.
The bubble gets bigger.
Right.
Oh,
Yep.
The
Oh,
bubble.
The story gets worse. So you guys familiar with on a credit score? There's things that go into a credit score that helps tabulate your credit score. One of those is what's called debt to income ratio. How much debt do you have versus your income? And they want typically, like if you're going to buy a house or something like that, they really want that house payment to be at 20%, 22%, under 30% of your expense. Rental costs in the United States of America for the first time in history are now over 30% of the average income.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
We're in a mess.
Oh yeah.
So it costs more to rent than it does to buy your own house.
Let me see here. Well, actually, it's interesting. The
Okay.
average, the average mortgage payment today is up is $2,605, which is up 19% from last year.
$2,600.
The average mortgage payment in America today is $2,605 a month.
$2,600.
Yeah.
For each month
Yes,
for
mortgage.
Geesh.
Yeah, you've been.
Holy
You got
cow!
some messages.
What kind of? That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Or a month. Could you imagine trying to be a single person and have one income and try to pay a $2,600 mortgage payment, and then kids feed them?
This is a really good point. Mr. Rain says that shrinkflation, a half gallon of ice cream is now 1.5 quarts and more expensive.
Yes.
Me and B talk about it all the time, how it's either a higher price, lower quality, or lower quantity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they get that, kind of that trifecta.
Yeah, so you don't freak out at the store.
Crunchy Mama says, aren't college loan repayments supposed to kick back in come October? Wonder if any of those borrowers remember they have those. Yeah. Yeah, it's an absolute mess. I'll give you another interesting statistic. So vehicle repair costs are up 20% over last year, more than 6 times the claimed inflation rate.
Oh my goodness.
So repairing your car is up 6 times greater than the claimed inflation rate by the federal government.
Are you saying that cars are breaking down more,
No.
or you're just
No,
saying
what I'm
that
saying
the cost
is-
to
To
fix
repair 'em.
them?
The cost of repairing
Well, of
them are up
course.
20% over last year.
Oh, 20%.
Yeah, which is 6 times more than the claimed inflation that they talk about that we happen to be experiencing.
Right.
But what's interesting is that experts, not universally, but pretty much across the board, agree that what's going to get impacted next is food and energy. And that those two are going to get hammered with inflation. They're going to be in that because inflation will never, I don't think, experience inflation across the board. You'll have some things up and some things down, some things will get hammered. But it looks like to me that, and I would agree with him, that food and energy is headed right there. So we need to be preparing for exorbitant food costs and energy costs. I tell people this all the time that, get out of the system any way you can get out of the system. This is my last statistic on this, but
Sorry.
so
Yep. Thanks.
69% now of consumers in urban areas are living paycheck to paycheck, which is actually not that different than it was before, right? That's a pretty
Yeah.
consistent number. I mean, it was in the 50s, it hovers in there. So that's not as alarming. What's alarming now is 65% of the rural residents are now living paycheck to paycheck, which that number has doubled.
Wow.
Which I think is interesting.
Hmm.
And another thing interesting is 48% of baby boomers are now living paycheck to paycheck. So what's that tell you? That's a big number to me because these are people who are in February this year, the baby boomers on average would enter retirement.
Right.
Okay. And this is a big thing because the markets were worried that they were going to start pulling their money out. That's what happens when you retire.
Yes.
You get your money out of the risk, right? That's very normal.
Right.
But since they're the largest population and Generation X, my generation, and then even through millennials, now they're all smaller populations. And so there's a lot of worry about them pulling out, but over half of them don't have retirement. That's what that number says. 48% of baby boomers are now living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm.
Yeah. Part of repairs on my farm have gone up a terrible amount since the sea scare. Yeah. I probably missed all kinds of great comments. High food prices might be the best cure for obesity. Tag, that's why I say
I
go
bet it
debt free.
doesn't.
I bet it doesn't.
I bet it doesn't either because
The
it's-
cheaper the food, the worse the food is for you, the cheaper it is.
I can eat at McDonald's dollar menu cheaper than I can eat good food.
They don't have the dollar menu anymore.
They don't. I don't eat at McDonald's, so I don't know. But you could typically, you know,
Used to, you could
you
for sure.
could,
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think now they're $2, right? Is that?
I have
Do you
no
know?
idea. I mean, I see a McDonald's as I'm
Yeah.
whizzing by.
Johnny says his auto insurance is up 35% since COVID started.
Ugh.
You've got people having homes foreclosed on now because they can't get insurance on them anymore because the insurance carriers are scared of
I
the
did
risk.
hear that.
And so there's the big, $8 million houses in these, resort type places. Hawaii is an example that's on fire. Insurance is going, no, we're out. It's too risky. And so people are losing their homes. I heard a story on, I want to say it was Economic Ninja, where there was a guy who had a house that his balance was $9,800. He was $9,800 away from paying his house and is now going through foreclosure because he can't secure insurance.
Oh my goodness.
Because you have to have insurance if you have a loan. And if you don't have insurance in your writing, when you take a mortgage out, it says they can take your home if you don't carry insurance.
Yes.
So now the insurance company says, we're not going to insure you, and they lose their home. He was $9,800 away, and now he's got to go through
I might have to borrow some money.
it.
Right.
In my life
Right.
from friends. Lots of
Yeah,
friends.
right. I would
Have
go in
lots
and that's right.
yeah.
Give me $9,800. We're going to end
Guys,
this.
write me a note. I will pay you back.
Yeah.
You can count on it.
You see, Kay Valentin says broke people are broke because they're underpaid.
Or mismanaged. with their
A
money.
lot of it's
Oh,
mismanaged. Yeah, I think that's also true. I think they're going to tax and insurance till most can't pay. Okay, Brett, I agree with you. I think this is why we talk about it all the time on the channel about how many fronts can we fight the battle on, and can we eliminate the need? Like, I don't have to carry homeowners insurance. I own my property, right? Or your car, you could go down to liability. You got to have insurance, but you could
Yeah.
technically go to liability. But taxes, I think, is another huge thing. I'd love to figure out how to fight that, which I don't have any idea, but I do think we can eliminate a lot of them so that if the taxes double, it doesn't hurt me as bad because I have so many other things I'm not having to deal with, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Oh,
Tamara
another
said,
one.
yeah, insurance is a ripoff and a racket. Okay. Oh, wait. Wrong book. I was looking at my
Wrong
phone.
book.
Wrong book.
Isn't that crazy, all those statistics, though?
Yes.
You know, and I wrote all those down. Some of them I got from Economic Ninja. Some of them I got from just different places that I watch that I just write down. But what I think is interesting about it is Biden just this week was talking about how strong the economy is.
Mhm.
Right? It's like, how can you get up there and say how strong it is and think, I mean, Americans really that stupid? They're not going to look
Well,
up
they
any
do-
of these things.
They just COVID's over. Yay!
Yeah.
Oh wait, 80% is up.
They're not
back
paying
and forth.
attention.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Nobody's paying attention
Yeah.
to what's going on. I say nobody.
flip
That's
flopping.
obviously generalized, but
Look at that. I already covered that whole page in previous conversations. How cool is that?
That's what you were doing to mine too. I
Yeah,
was
you
like,
got anything else you wanna talk about?
crossing off things as you were talking about them.
Yeah.
Nope.
You know, the U.S. pledged 80,000 artillery rounds in August for the Ukraine, which is up from 20,000 the month before. And American reconnaissance vehicles have now been spotted in the Black Sea. What'd that tell you? You know what a reconnaissance vehicle is, right? I mean,
They're spotted in the Black Sea.
the Black Sea is the sea beneath Russia and the Ukraine,
Okay.
basically. And so I'll say it another way. U.S. spy craft was spotted in the Black Sea this week, which I'm sure they've been there for a long, long time, but they were spotted. So I found that was interesting. What else is interesting? So Poland sits on the border of the Ukraine, right? And there's a lot of fear that Russia's going to invade Poland, which I don't buy it. It's bullshit. But it's just what's that?
I'm sorry. I
Go
was
ahead.
reading.
Oh, go
Johnny says Biden smoking weed needles.
Yeah. Okay, so Poland's interesting. So Poland sits on the border. They're a NATO country. If they attack Poland, we'll embark Article 4 and Article 5 of the NATO alliance, and all NATO will get involved and we'll be in World War III. Pretty much how that works. Okay. But so last week, Poland said they were sending 1,000 troops to the border to protect their own security. And so the next day they came out and said they're going to send 2,000 to make sure that they protect their border. And today they announced the deployment of 10,000,
Oh,
which I find interesting.
okay.
Yeah. North Korea removes one of its top generals this week, which I find interesting.
Wow.
The South. Let me see.
You're out of here.
Okay, wait a second.
Probably not that gently.
Kay Valentin says that was a response to someone who said living paycheck to paycheck is living outside of your means. You have to be able to take care of your family. Most people paycheck to paycheck don't have credit. I think this is true, but I think just like we were talking about, household incomes are down 9.1%. And so you're forced to feed your family. And guys, if my family was hungry, I'd put it on a credit card. Guarantee you I would. I'm not gonna let them go hungry.
Yeah.
And so I think poverty is part of modern day slavery. I mean, some of it is choices we make, right?
Yes.
Some of it, but some of it is also the systems designed to keep you enslaved.
Yeah.
Think about back let's say before the 70s. Let's talk about the 60s and the 50s. We could manage to have a house and have 2 nice cars and live a good life and get a big what do they have them back there,
Radio.
TVs. Yeah, we could afford to do all of those with the man working.
Yes.
Just the husband working. And then since then, now both people in the family have to work and they're scraping by.
Yeah.
So you could say it's bad choices. Although I agree there's some of that's in there, but it's also systematic slavery, in my opinion. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, also during that time, yes, the woman did stay home, but she cooked. There was no going out to
Right.
eat.
Which
Yeah.
also cost down, right?
Yes. So
Yes.
it kept costs down. So
Yeah.
And people were want it right now,
Well, then she also usually didn't have a car.
right?
They had a car.
They had a car.
Yeah, but it was enough back then to buy a house. If you look at what a house cost compared to the average income in
yeah.
1950 versus what a house cost compared to the average income, everything's outpaced income.
Right.
I mean, and some of that I think again is systematic,
Absolutely.
you know, and most men only had a high school education.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Most people today are never taught how money works or how to delay gratification. 100%.
Yeah.
What most people consider medium income or lifestyle by world standards is extravagant. We seem to think that only one TV, less than all the cable channels, is poverty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're a mess.
LJC posted something up there.
Oh, did I miss it? Where? Who?
LJC.
Where are we at?
Right. Up. One more. Keep going. Well, I thought that.
Economic ninja story.
The Economic Ninja story. She had been paying on her house for 22 years and her insurance broker was quitting and they wouldn't let her switch to a new broker or office. Yeah, we're talking about how the person that had $9,800 left on the mortgage, that's what she's talking about.
They had their house for 22 years.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let her switch to a different
Because
insurance.
it was their fault. They were retiring or quitting.
Yeah. In other words, our insurance company didn't want to carry them any longer.
Oh.
Johnny says, I was married twice. I know all about delayed gratification. I had to put that one up there. Average home in the 50s was 900 square feet. Average home today is over 2,300.
Mhm.
Yep. And the mother of the house didn't hire someone to have her nails done and her hair done at a salon or even expensive work clothes. Back in the 50s, going out was throwing a dinner party for your friends. My grandma and grandpa didn't quit well after the war in the 50s on the farm. And all of that is just so crazy to me. Oh, well, South Korea. I was going to talk about South Korea. This is important. So something new is going to happen on August the 23rd that I'm unaware of. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong, that's ever happened before. So they're doing war gaming, like we do them all the time, right? All over we plays war games, but they're involving their populace. So on the 23rd of August, they're going to do a nuclear drill where they open up the doors to all the shelters. Everyone will get a text no matter where they're at, where they're supposed to report to. And they're doing this massive drill about in the event of a nuclear thing, you're in the city, you're in Seoul, Korea, let's say, and you're shopping at a grocery store and something happens. Your phone's going to beep and say, go to 13th and Broadway. go to this shelter. So they're actually involving 30 million people in the drill.
Wow.
And communications.
Oh,
and-
that's a big thing to pull off. But why would they go through the expense? Why
the
would they
chaos.
risk people getting hurt? Why would they take that? I mean, I think you really have to start saying, is it just propaganda, or is there something else there?
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Pockery says there was a media personality that once said the people that lived in tiny homes just didn't have goals or some such. If you don't aspire to a 5,000 square foot home, you're lazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Next house, I will pay no insurance. I will self-insure. Yep. Never mind. A lot of those tiny houses cost upward of $100 grand.
Mhm.
Crazy. What is your chances of a total loss? It's actually not very good. I mean, I would say fire would be your biggest risk. Oh, a total loss. Maybe water would be up there.
Tornado.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm content with a tiny place. I bank 2,500 to 3K a month. Yep. You're blessed, Johnny. Says bank with consequences. God, the South Korea thing really got me going.
Yeah. Right.
Because
Yeah, that's
Why would you get
that's a lot.
the whole populace involved?
Yeah.
And what about, like you were talking about, the panic?
the
panic
chaos
of
that
the-
that's
Right.
going to create.
Scaring everybody,
Yeah.
scaring all the kids.
Well, and two, then it's going to know the location of the phone if it's going to tell you to go to 13th and
Ah, that's
Elm
important.
Street, then it's like, oh wait, so I'm my closest location.
babe, they will use the towers and all that stuff to say the people in this area go here, the people in this area.
Mhm.
But
Your
who's to
phone
say
was
they're
good.
not already preparing them?
Like the train cars?
I bet
Are
they
you kidding?
actually.
Yeah.
I bet there's all kinds of advertisements over there saying this is what's going on this day, but still people running,
Yeah.
people getting hurt. I mean, think of it from a medical perspective.
Why I'm talking about, what if that population is not, they're not already communicating, this is what we're going to do, and this is how you're going to move, and this is, I mean, they're already telling them that this drill is just to see if they're paying attention to what they're being told to do and if they're actually going to do it.
I think that that's some truth in that, but that's still
It's pretty,
That's scary.
that's
Yeah.
significant.
It
I
is
mean, at least in my
significant.
opinion,
yeah, very significant.
Eagle Lover said on January the 24th, I was hit with a tornado and glad I had insurance.
Mhm.
I'd be curious though, Eagle Lover, to out of curiosity, if you would have saved all the money you ever paid in insurance premiums and you would have put it into a savings account, how would have that compared to this insurance settlement you got to repair your house?
I always wonder that.
Yeah, I'd just
It's
be
like,
curious. I mean,
How
she'd
much
be a
am
good
I
one to
paying
know.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Is it, if I had put that money away myself, could I have replaced it at
right?
home myself?
And I'd just be curious to know the answer.
That's a,
I'm leaving a 5,200 square foot to build a 1,700 and paid from full. Yeah, get out of that's super important. Get out of debt. I don't have any insurance because I own my place. I believe insurance is based in fear. Sometimes, I mean, I come from the insurance world, and I think if you can, if you want, it's about hedging your risk, right?
yeah.
Is it worth $200 a month to hedge that risk? In today's world, in peaceful society, if income's good, probably.
Mhm.
But if it's making me choose between insurance and electricity, probably not. I mean, I think that's an individual case, right? You are not lazy if you have a 5,000 square foot house. All you do is
I
clean.
had to
You-
laugh.
Not the truth.
Mhm.
There's a tiny house company having a sale for 15,000. Yep. After years of 700 square foot, I'm ready for more room and maybe a shop downstairs and living space upstairs. It's a drill to test compliance.
I mean,
Ah.
that's
You
kind
really,
of,
you really can't argue with that. Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Poontang says, how do you self-insure? Well, you just have enough money to cover the damages.
Right.
That's how you self-insure, right? That's all it is.
Take that, $200 and put it into an account somewhere, put it under the bed,
Yep.
and do that every month until you have
Do you replace your
Loss.
home? Yeah.
hopefully the loss doesn't take, your bed that you're storing your $200 under.
Right.
You better bury it.
Dana says same thing with medical insurance. We should have banked it. Except medical insurance, the thing with it is the cost of having a heart attack is far
Yeah.
more than your house will ever cost. Right. I mean, those bills are, which maybe we can talk about the whole problem with that, but the risk of losing everything you own because you got hit by a car, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I am,
Yes.
But
Or you hit one of those transformers. Remember
Mhm.
the electrical transformers if you don't have insurance.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, just if you're like, okay, well, I'll just self-insure,
Mhm.
and you're out doing something and
Mhm.
some people have those in their yards. Some
Mhm.
people have those that they come in contact with. And
Mhm.
what he said that there was a car that hit one of those, and just that electrical box that's sitting in somebody's yard is like, how much money?
Yeah.
We were like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
You damage those electrical boxes that are in people's yards in the city. You see those
Yeah.
electrical boxes? You damage one of those and you're in big trouble.
Oh, they were.
Yeah. Guys,
pay for it.
we're coming up on 2 hours and 10 minutes. So pretty quick, I'm going to ask you guys for parting words. I'm giving you heads up so that you're prepared.
Yeah.
So we don't get to this.
We talked about this.
Did you write it down?
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about
Just
this.
remember the first insurance came from Holland and the tulip industry. Interesting.
What's that significance?
But there's nothing to say that after 22 years of paying an insurance that they won't drop you for no reason.
Yeah.
I think this is again a reason why to self-insure if you can. If you can pull it off, if you can, it's so funny, I know what it cost me to build this house. I know what it would cost me to build it again. To have enough money sitting away in a, whatever you do with it, just to make sure that you could do that, it might be worth not carrying insurance because it's expensive and you pay it every month. I had a
Catastrophe claim on the hail on the roof.
I did have one. That's right. Not here, but at our last house. But we had a big hailstorm come through the whole neighborhood, and they got the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it didn't affect my rates or anything. But yeah.
Right. That's why it was the catastrophe of the neighborhood.
Yep. Ask a licensed advisor about health savings accounts. It can be a good way to save to pay for future medical costs. Yeah. But why would you put it in a health savings account to where all you could use it on is health one step closer versus just putting it in a savings account or putting it under your mattress?
Right.
I mean,
Then you can
that's
use
the
it
thing.
for
You start
anything.
putting them in those accounts. Same with an IRA, individual retirement account. Now you have rules you have to follow about when you can get your money, how you can get your money, right? I mean, so you're getting into all of that. And I know people who are in this chat right now who have been trying to get money out of a 401k plan for 6 months and can't get it.
Oh.
You know them too. But yeah, I carry minimum health insurance and my money is in a trust. So sue me. Yeah, trusts are good ideas. You see, health savings accounts grow tax free. Yeah, but isn't it? I don't have a ton of experience here, but also, aren't you super dictated to what you can use the money for?
Has to be health stuff, doesn't
I
it?
think it has to be health related. Or maybe you can get it out, but then you have to pay the taxes back. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert here, so if you know something,
I don't know enough to really speak to it,
Mhm.
but I know there is growth in it, tax-free growth in it. Some of it has to go to health, but I don't think you have to use all of it for health.
Yeah.
Purposes, I don't know.
all right. Well, let's get out of here. It's 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Okay.
So, Lisa, what's your parting words for everybody?
Well, thank you for letting me sit in with you
It's cool.
all. And really appreciate Tag and B letting me come out and learn what it's like to live a little bit freer every day.
Mhm.
It's work.
The off-grid
It is work.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you could live off-grid?
Absolutely. I think I could.
Yeah. It's not much different. It's just management, right? I mean,
Management. I'd have to tighten my belt, but yeah.
B?
Keep searching for freedom. Right?
It's out there.
It's out there.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
I love you. Hey, my parting words to you guys is, I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about how do we keep our heads sane with all this stuff going on around us,
Yes.
I mean, I gave you all these statistics tonight, and I think all of those things are good to know, but The truth is, I'll tell you, and you can ask B about this. I don't worry about them.
Yeah.
I really don't. It's good to know, but the fact of the matter is they said in the, I think it was the movie, I think it was Platoon. It was one of them, but they said, it's a huge shit sandwich. We all got to take a bite. And so I think part of getting your mind wrapped around it is accepting, first of all, who the enemy is. You got to accept it in your heart. You got to say, okay, look, this is what's going on. And I think it makes it easier to cope with it. The other thing is that for me personally, as I try to focus on the things that I can do that will change, will give me change, will give me that impact. Because the fact of the matter is sitting here and spending 2 hours reading Fox News ain't going to get you anywhere. I mean, it's good to know what's going on, but it's not, guys. I'm going to tell you, they're as biased as CNN and MSNBC or whatever, right? The Republicans are just as corrupt as the Democrats. They just got you convinced that two parties and you have a choice.
Right.
You don't have a choice. If you've never watched the Jones Plantation video, you need to go watch it. Because what they propose, you need to watch it because it really, really, really describes the two-party system. It's basically two different slave owners. And what they're saying is if you don't like this one, you can vote for the other one.
Yeah.
And in the end, nothing changes.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Same
Wash, rinse, repeat.
ideas.
And so I think internally, instead of giving your attention, your energy capital, which is the most valuable thing that you have, there is nothing more valuable. Instead of giving it to the system and giving that stuff away, focus on how to make your own life better. Focus on how to get yourself freer. Use that energy there. Don't give it to those scumbags. They don't love you. They don't care for you, and they're not coming to help.
Right.
Right? So we do it again. See you guys. Tag up.
Be out.
Peace out.
See you guys. Bye-bye.